Alright, hi, assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. My name is Hajar and I will be the moderator for tonight. Okay, spotlight myself for everyone. Okay, first thing first, I would like to make it clear first. Is it my voice loud and clear? So if yes, please give me emoticons thumbs up or put something in the chat good so that I know on my side everything is okay. Okay, good. All right. Okay, thank you so much for the feedback. All right, so I would like to welcome on board to our special webinar for tonight, iaitu pasal tentang how to raise 50K up to 100K in the next 5 to 12 months. Okay, all right. So for those who watch us for those who watch through our social media, YouTube ataupun Facebook as well as IG and also Facebook, please, I would like to encourage you guys join us dekat Zoom because dekat Zoom ni ada special sikit, so you guys can ask question dekat bahagian Q&A. So there will be a live Q&A session after this. Okay. So with that, I would like to basically invite our panelists for tonight. Kejap, I nak check. Our Faizul Ridzuan is there here ataupun tidak? Boleh join lagi. Okay. So yeah, I see. So Faizul Ridzuan, are you ready?
Hello.
So,
Can you see
okay.
and can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes. Okay, so the floor is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Good evening semua. Tapi I macam akan lambat sikit sebab I'm still waiting for the slides. So apa tu? So as you know, kenapa kita nak buat benda ni is that we are doing this simply because apa tu? We had a viral punya case of whereby ada, I tak tahu lah dia artis ke apa ke kan. Tapi macam artis lah. I don't think dia terlalu popular lah kan. So and dia ni kena putus tunang sebab dia punya tunang perempuan tu cakap you got less than RM1,000 in your bank account. Right? You have less than RM1,000 in your bank account. And therefore kau tak layak lah untuk bernikah ataupun bertunang dengan aku. So because of that, senang cerita dia putus tunang lah guys. Right? So number one, I think it's a blessing in disguise for him because perempuan tu betul-betul, I would say, reflect lah, yang buka aib. You know, belum kahwin lagi pun dah buka aib. So I think he dodged a bullet dekat situ lah, right? But nonetheless, I rasa terpanggil, right, untuk buat presentation ini sebab I think there's a shorter way to go and do it. I have got clients who umur 26 tahun dah ada lebih pada 100,000 cash, property pun dah ada 2-3, and they do it because they are smarter when it comes to financial engineering. Faham tak guys? Right? So I think when you financial IQ tinggi, you akan dapat buat banyak option dalam hidup. So you can raise 51,000 tu dalam masa setahun saja. Right? So and we have done it 1,000 times. So ni bukan gebang sembang punya cerita. We have actually done it 1,000 times. Today we are going to tell you how we do it, macam mana cara kita buat benda tu, and the case study, and kita juga akan panggil mereka beberapa orang klien yang sebelum ni dah pernah buat benda ni, dah berjaya buat benda ni, so that you guys can listen for yourself how do they do it. Ya, so kita bukan nak cerita pasal praktikal dengan teori saja. Kita akan bagi tahu you the real case study in terms of how do we do it, you know, who has done it, and apa semua tu lah. Ya, boleh ya guys? So that's our agenda for tonight. I want to keep I punya presentation tu maximum pun 30 minit. Right, maximum 30 minit. Tu ajar korang sehabis baik konsep dia. Right, macam mana nak naikkan cash 50,000 hingga 100,000. And daripada situ, I hope you can have an idea and you know what to do. Right? Now, before I mulakan ni, I nak tahu, is there anyone here who in the next 12 bulan ni memerlukan minimum 50,000? Right? Untuk buka bisnes ke, ataupun untuk bayar hutang ke, ataupun untuk kahwin ke. Right? I macam pelik sikit sebab I punya tanggapan sebab nak naikkan modal untuk menikah ni kerja lelaki kan, tapi macam banyak juga perempuan malam ni yang kat sini kan. Right? So I pun tak faham kenapa kan, tapi tak apa, bagus lah. I'm hoping kalau you belajar, you pergilah bagi tahu kan, kalau tiba-tiba you ada tunang ke, boyfriend yang bodoh kan, jenis yang tak nak belajar perasaan pandai ni, dan you pergi ajar dia macam mana nak buat benda ni. You jadi wakil kan lah. So siapa kat sini perlukan modal untuk kahwin guys? Siapa kat sini perlukan modal untuk kahwin? Okay. Now, I nak bagi warning dulu. Just because I ajar you macam mana nak buat 100,000, naikkan modal 100,000 doesn't mean you kena pakai 100,000 untuk kahwin tau. Kau jangan jadi bangang pula. Boleh lah guys? So, especially laki-laki yang kat sini ni, right? If you tiba-tiba dapat naikkan modal 100,000 ke 200,000 ke, right? Kau jangan pergi bagi tahu kau ada 200,000. So cekak je ada modal 30,000. Okay? So just because you have 100,000, 200,000 doesn't mean you have to tell everyone you have a modal of 200,000. Sebab nanti keluarlah cerita kahwin ni hanya sekali, come on, you tak sayang I ke, kan, apa semua tu. So tolong buat kerja clean sikit lah, laki-laki kat luar ni. Korang ni lurus sangat lah. Ni apa cerita ni, kahwin nombor 2 ni, macam nak kena tendang keluar je. Ni nak kena tambah masalah ni, kan. If you have the means to afford to kahwin 2, you don't need to attend this webinar. So apa tu? Kalau kau mampu untuk kahwin 2, kau tak perlu attend webinar ni untuk naikkan modal untuk kahwin 2. So yang ni untuk khas untuk yang nak kahwin satu je. Boleh ya guys? So aku tak nak pula nanti korang tiba-tiba viralkan aku cakap jelaka mamak ni kan, dia menggalakkan kita untuk curang kepada isteri. Dah pula satu hal lagi. Kan? Semua salah. So, my slides is ready. Sekejap. I'm gonna download. And then after that, kita boleh mulakan kita punya presentation. Okay. Sekejap. Can you confirm yang you can see my full screen? Okay. So guys, slides kita dalam bahasa English, I akan cakap bahasa Melayu. So boleh ya guys? So slides kita in English tapi I akan cakap bahasa Melayu. Right? So malam ni punya content very straightforward, how to raise 50,000 hingga 100,000 in the next 5 hingga 12 bulan. Right? And kenapa kita nak buat benda ni? Sebab kes Mamat ni agak kesian. Dia ada 500 dalam satu of the bank account yang tunang dia nampak, yang terus putus tunang. Tu kena kutuk pula tu kan. Satu Malaysia tahu yang dia sengkit, kesian. Right, so which is why I pun dah cakap dah in my post, if you kenal Mamat ni, suruh dia hubungi I, DM team I, dan kita boleh cuba bantu. Okay, the meantime, untuk mereka yang belajar malam ni, you pun dah boleh bantu dia lepas ni. So like I said, the whole idea is that to teach you financial engineering, to naikkan you punya financial IQ, supaya once you faham financial IQ tu, you akan faham kenapa ada orang boleh langsaikan hutang kereta umur tak sampai 30, kereta dah bayar. Savings ada beratus ribu walaupun gaji je 5,000 saja. Okay. So bila you faham financial engineering, you akan dapat buat benda yang orang lain ambil masa 10 hingga 20 tahun untuk buat, tapi dapat buat masa 3 hingga 5 tahun. Okay. So I nak you fokus. I perlukan 30 minit je of you punya masa. Boleh guys? Okay. First, I nak you tulis kat kertas berapa cash yang you perlukan in the next 3 tahun. 1 hingga 3 tahun. Now, bila cerita pasal cash ni, I would say ni adalah beberapa kegunaan penting lah untuk untuk cash tu kan. Nombor 1, kalau boleh, I nak semua yang datang malam ni, lepas 2 to 3 tahun ni tak ada hutang kita. Best tak guys, kalau hutang kita tak ada? Okay. Nombor 2, I tak nak you ada hutang personal loan, I tak nak you ada hutang credit card. Okay. Nombor 3, kalau you kahwin, I tak nak you buat personal loan. I nak you kahwin tanpa perlu berhutang. Nombor 4, right? So nak beli rumah senang, tapi kadang-kadang nak renovate, nak letak furniture dalam rumah tu boleh jadi mahal. So I nak you kira-kira sekarang ni berapa yang you perlukan the next 1 hingga 3 tahun ni, 36 bulan ni, untuk buat semua benda ni. Okay. Boleh tak korang share dekat bahagian ruang chat? How much do you need guys in the next 1 hingga 3 tahun ni? I nak tengok. Dan I boleh faham sikit. Okay. 250, 300. Oi, apa tiba-tiba banyak ni? 1 juta, 100 hingga 150, 200. Oi, tiba-tiba banyak ni kan. Dah jadi tamak lah pula korang kan. Bukan tak boleh buat lah. Tapi in order to raise, senang cerita 250,000 of cash in the next 12 bulan, kita dah buat. Tapi you need certain level of income lah. Ya. Okay, ada yang cakap hutang terlalu banyak, no problem. One by one guys. One by one Okay. So kita berbalik kepada kita punya presentation. Okay. You dah identify berapa unit kan, betul guys? Okay. This is how our client did it. So this is for example, Syafiq, waktu tu dia 25 tahun, this is 2 years ago. Dia dapat beli 3 property tanpa modal. Dia dibayar untuk beli property tersebut. And then, sebab tu dia dapat settlekan hutang kereta dia. Right? And on top of that, dia ada savings lebih pada 100,000. And kalau dia dah ada calon, dia dah boleh berkahwin tanpa hutang guys. So ni achievement untuk orang yang umur 26 tahun. Okay ke tak okay guys macam ni? Right? Sampai kat sini 26, 25 tahun. Right? So you have to take people like Syafiq ni macam your idol. Kau pergi follow orang-orang tak guna dekat Instagram dengan TikTok ni, right? Baik kau jadikan Mamat macam ni hero. Okay. Now this is Ziang. Ziang dia typical Gen Z. Dia tak nak kerja dengan orang. Dia tak suka kerja dengan orang. So goal dia adalah untuk naikkan cash lebih pada 100,000, lepas tu dia pergi start dia punya business. So, at 26 tahun, dia beli 2 property, tak payah bayar apa-apa, and then on top of that, dia dapat naikkan modal dia lebih pada 100,000 and dia berhenti kerja. Ada kat sini yang ada plan nak berhenti kerja in the next 3 hingga 5 tahun? Dah menyampah dah nak kerja dengan orang lain? Ya, sebab kerja sendiri ni best guys. Kalau kerja dengan orang lain, kau kerja 8 jam sehari. Kerja sendiri ni kau kerja 14 jam sehari. Right? So jangan tertipu dengan financial freedom tu. So kerja sendiri ni you kena kerja lebih keras, tapi at least you kerja untuk you lah. Okay. Nah, ni untuk mereka yang ada hutang. Siapa kat sini ada hutang? Kita personal loan dan apa semua tu. Okay. So ni case study Aimee, right? Or Dr. Aimee. Dulu dia ada personal loan 120,000, monthly commitment dia sebulan 6,500. Dalam masa tak sampai 2 tahun, well in this particular case tahun dia dapat beli 2 property. Dia dapat kurangkan, settlekan personal loan dia 120,000. Dia juga dapat kurangkan dia punya monthly commitment daripada 6,500 pada 2,500. And savings dia naik lebih pada 100,000. Okay. So again, ni real life case tadi. I tunjuk muka, korang boleh pergi check dia punya Facebook kalau tak percaya. Right. Last but not least, kita juga ada lady yang jadi client, right? Sebab malam ni ada ladies. Lady ni, dia memang betul-betul heroin lah. Bagi I, dia paling brutal lah kot. Sebab orang lain settlekan 1-2 loan. Dia settlekan 4-5 loan total. Dia settlekan 2 personal loan, 2 car loan, 1 credit card. Dalam masa tak sampai 18 bulan. Okay. So this is Noradila Salmi. Again, boleh check dia punya Facebook kalau tak percaya. Okay. So guys, your goal lepas ni is that I nak you ada zero bad debt, tapi you ada berjuta-juta hutang baik, which is good debt lah. So apa beza bad debt dengan good debt ni adalah semua good debt ni ada orang lain tolong bayarkan, and bila you buat hutang tu, aset tu akan bernilai lebih tinggi lepas 20 to 30 tahun. So, you ambil hutang untuk belajar is good debt sebab dia akan naikkan you punya income. You beli rumah, good debt, terutama kalau you beli rumah yang betul. Right? But you buat personal loan, you buat credit card, itu adalah semua contoh of bad debt. You beli kereta is a bad debt. Sebab apa? Kereta makin naik ke makin turun harga guys lepas 10 tahun? Biasanya turun harga 99% of the time. Property terbalik, 99% of the time dia akan naik harga, terutamanya kalau you beli property yang okay. Okay. So macam cakap tadi, kereta, personal loan, credit card, these are all bad debt. So you nak kena ada bad debt you kosong kalau boleh in the next 24 hingga 36 bulan. And then you kalau boleh you nak ada berjuta-juta good debt. Okay, you buat hutang 1 juta beli rumah, InsyaAllah lepas 20 atau 30 tahun hutang 1 juta tu boleh jadi asset value nilai dia lebih pada 2 juta. Sebab apa? Kalau you tengok kenaikan harga hartanah dekat Malaysia in the last 30 tahun naik 4.5 kali ganda. So senang cerita, every 10-20 tahun tu rumah you akan naik double. So you buat beli rumah hutang 1 juta hari ni, dia akan jadi nilai dia 2 juta tu 3 juta lepas 20 tu 30 tahun and hutang you dah habis at that point of time. And you beli property yang betul, orang lain tolong bayarkan you punya installment. So faham ke guys konsep hutang baik dengan hutang jahat ni? Faham ke tak faham guys? Okay. Straightforward ya. Hutang baik, you buat hutang tu, you dapat duit tetap bulan guys. Hutang jahat, you buat hutang tu tetap bulan kena bayar. Tu je. Ha? I tak boleh nak simplify benda ni lebih simple daripada konsep ni. Hutang baik, dia masukkan duit dalam poket kita. Rumah yang duduk sendiri tu, hutang baik ke hutang jahat guys? Betul, rich dad poor dad. Rumah yang duduk sendiri bukan hutang baik. Sebab apa? Tiap-tiap bulan you kena bayar. Right? Dia boleh jadi hutang baik bila you beli satu lagi rumah yang tolong bayarkan rumah yang tengah duduk ni. Faham tak guys? Okay. So konsep ni bukan I reka sendiri, is from rich dad poor dad. Nothing original. I just simplify je untuk anda semua. Okay. Now, this is 3 cara. So now kita dah cerita pasal hutang baik hutang jahat. Now I nak cerita macam mana you nak buat 50,000 tu 100,000 tu. So kita akan gunakan property sebagai asset kelas kita. Ada 3 cara guys untuk buat duit daripada property dalam konteks hari ni. Number 1, you akan ada konsep early cash out. Nombor 2, later cash out. Nombor 3, cash flow. Cash flow ni hasil sewa tiap-tiap bulan. Okay. Now, konteks kita malam ni kita nak cerita macam mana nak naikkan modal ataupun duit cepat. Betul guys? So kita akan fokus kepada nombor 1 which is early cash out. Okay. Nombor 2, later cash out ni maksudnya you beli property hari ni nilai 200,000, lepas 10 tahun nilai dia naik 400,000. So you boleh refinance untuk ambil 100 tu 150,000 cash. Itu kita panggil later cash out. Lepas 5-10 tahun baru you collect. Konsep early cash out ni you akan dapat buat benda ni dalam masa 1 tahun. 6 bulan pun boleh guys. So faham guys? Early cash out versus later cash out. Later cash out ni kita panggil refinance. Ya, term biasa dia. Kalau early cash out ni pula biasanya orang akan panggil cashback. So kita kat sini panggil early cash out lah guys. Ya. So faham guys konsep ni? Now, macam mana you nak dapat early cash out dalam masa setahun dapat 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 hingga 300,000? Satu je korang kena ingat. You have to buy below market value property. Tu je. You hanya boleh dapat cash out ataupun early cash out ataupun cashback ni when you beli property below market value. And you nak kena target minimum 25% hingga 50% discount to get cash out of lebih pada 50,000. Okay guys? So far faham ke bahagian ni? Early cash out ni? Right? In order for you to go and get cash out, you cannot overpay. You kena beli below market value and you kena beli below market value kau. So berapa minimum guys? Below market value korang kena beli? Siapa ingat nombor tadi? Tak ingat kan aku pelangkung nanti. Berapa? Correct. 25% minimum, right? So maximum record discount kita pernah dapat 60%. Okay. But minimum 25% lah kalau you nak 50,000 tu. Okay. Now, kita continue sebab okay, bila I check, korang faham kan? So, good. Okay. Now, macam mana nak dapat benda-benda macam ni is that you kena ada information advantage, knowledge advantage, deal advantage, structure advantage. Therefore, you akan dapat cash flow and cash out punya advantage. So, in order to get cash flow advantage, cash out advantage macam saya cakap tu, okay, you kena ada information, knowledge, deal dengan structure punya advantage. Kejap Tak boleh nampak full screen. Okay, patut dah boleh nampak dah. Okay. boleh screen capture benda ni. Okay. Now, hari ni, these are property yang kita ada whereby you boleh dapat cash out awal. Okay. So, yang ni I mampu list sebab well, screen dia terhad. I letak 6 ni. Okay. So, kalau you tengok kat sini, ada yang boleh dapat cash out 80,000, ada yang boleh dapat cash out 100,000, ada yang boleh dapat cash out 300,000, ada yang sampai boleh dapat cash out 500,000. Real lah guys. Boleh dapat cash out sampai 500,000 ni. Okay. Dan kalau you tengok kat sini, semua ni minimum discount dia is 25%. Alright. Minimum discount dia kena 25% macam saya cakap tadi. Now, biasanya guys, property yang ada cash out awal ni ataupun cashback ni, biasanya dia negative cash flow. Betul tak guys? This is not the first time korang dengar kan the concept of cash out ataupun cashback, betul? Majority of this property yang ada cash out ataupun cashback ni biasanya negative cash flow. I would say 95% of the time negative cash flow. Tapi property yang kita ada ni bukan sahaja boleh dapat 80 tu 100,000 tu, malah boleh dapat 100,000 punya cash out awal. Okay. Kalau you tengok property kita yang dekat Johor tu, Diana dengan Albee tu, kalau you letak rental strategy yang betul, even with a 300,000 cash out, you boleh dapat break even. So basically ni maksudnya apa guys? You can get a 300,000 to 500,000 cash out this year and it's not even negative cash flow. Sebab apa? Orang lain tolong bayarkan installment you melalui sewa. Okay, so these are deal yang klien kita beli today and in the last 6 bulan. Okay, so far faham guys? And deal kita yang paling murah is bawah daripada 200,000, paling mahal lebih pada 1 juta pun ada lah. Okay, so if you are wondering berapa nilai dia, that's the amount, yeah, that's the amount. So now, kenapa orang lain beli property dapat cash out ni dia negative cash flow tiap-tiap bulan? Kita pula boleh pula tu dapat positive cash flow. Okay. So, ini kriteria kita. So, when you beli property ni, okay, I nak you focus on the kriteria yang kedua dengan ketiga. Can rent ni, you kena target minimum 6% punya sewa and above punya rental. Can sell means you beli dekat at the lowest price point, maximum discount. Supaya bila you nak jual itu, you tak rugi. Right? This week alone, I dapat 2 klien very happy. 2 tahun lepas beli property kat Johor, 600,000, 500 lebih actually. Sekarang ni dah ada orang offer 800,500. Baru 2 tahun, 200,000. Okay. So, bila you follow kriteria yang macam ni, whereby sewa boleh target 6% dan ke atas, and can sell, you akan dapat beli property yang below market, demand dia okay, orang ada je nak sewa. Okay. Now, this is real performance. Dulu berapa harga kita beli original, berapa harga sekarang. And kalau you tengok kat sini, kenaikan last 3 tahun, ada yang naik 32%, ada naik 9% to 10%, ada naik almost 50% pun ada. And bila tengok kat sini, kita punya rental yield, minimum 6%, ada yang 8%, and kita ada 2 property. Rental yield kita lebih pada 10%. Guys, in the market, tak ada orang yang boleh dapat rental yield more than 10%. Per capital saja. Ni bukan gebang sembang, ni track record kita orang. Right? Sebab itu kita berani letak nama klien ya dekat sini. Okay? So, yang ni adalah beberapa property yang lain lagi kalau you tengok dekat sini. So, even paling Cokian dekat sini still 6%, ada juga kat sini yang 9.8%, ada yang dah almost 11%, ada yang 8%. Senang cerita, again when you follow the criteria yang kita cakap tu, tak susah untuk beli property yang boleh dapat cashback and on top of that boleh dapat juga cash flow. Okay, so faham guys? So bila ada orang cakap cash out ataupun cashback tu bahaya, tu orang-orang noob. Orang-orang yang tak reti invest in property. Sebab tu dia cakap macam tu. Right? So, orang-orang noob dia akan cakap cashback tak bagus. Cash out tak bagus. Now, dia tak kata salah. Tapi, macam semua benda, bukan semua property you boleh beli yang ada cashback. In fact, macam saya cakap, 95% property yang kat luar tu ada cashback, tak boleh pakai. Dia akan negative cash flow lebih pada 1,000. Okay. So, boleh je untuk you beli property yang ada cash out early ni untuk naikkan modal 50,000 tapi kena pilih property, kena beli property yang betul. Okay. So far faham ke guys bagian ni? Right. Dia bukan flipping ni bukan flipping. Dia you beli property tu and then property tu bila you beli property yang okay, dia akan continue turn harga sebab you beli pun dia dah beli at 40-50% discount. So dia naik balik pada harga asal je. Okay, yang naik sampai 45% discount tu, kita beli dulu memang dah dapat lebih kurang 50% discount. So sekarang dia dah naik balik. So kita katalah dulu harga ori dia 900,000. Kita beli 500 lebih. So sekarang dia dah nak naik balik kepada level almost 500,000 tu. Okay. So cash out ataupun cashback ni, you patut takut bila you beli property yang salah. Itu je korang kena ingat. If you beli property yang betul, you tak patut takut cash out, you tak perlu takut cashback. You boleh guna to your advantage. Okay. So guys, macam cakap tadi, in order to get cash flow dengan cash out punya advantage, you kena ada information, you kena ada knowledge, you kena ada deal, you kena ada structure advantage. Tak semua tempat you akan boleh dapat property macam ni. Okay. Now, siapa kat sini nak kita tolong tengok and test? Okay. So my team juga akan letak link dekat ruangan chat whereby you can basically click the link, you can isi you punya goals, you punya income and then kita akan bagi tahu berapa banyak cash out you potentially boleh dapat. Tapi again, I nak bagi tahu ni berdasarkan income, kita belum tengok lagi secret you. Lepas dah tengok secret, baru kita boleh bagi recommendation ataupun saranan yang tepat. Faham guys? But ni nak cuba-cuba nak test-test lah. Okay ke tak okay? Okay. Senang cerita, if your gaji net income lebih pada 3,500, you patut akan boleh dapat cash out of minimum 50,000 tahun ni. So dengar betul-betul lah. If your net income lebih pada 3,500 and you punya komitmen tak terlampau tinggi sangat and you jaga you punya secret, you patut tidak akan ada masalah untuk dapat minimum cash out of 50,000. Ya. Yang mana yang target, siapa tadi yang target 300,000, 400,000 tu, yang lebih pada 200,000, you roughly nak kena ada minimum income of lebih kurang 8,000 hingga 9,000. So tak tinggi sangat pun. 8,000 tu 9,000 tu you dah boleh cuba. Okay. Kalau komitmen you tak tinggi sangat, you akan boleh dapat cash out macam tu. Okay. So click on the QR code, click on the link tu, then kita akan cuba tengok and kita akan hantar manual recommendation to you. Okay. So now this is a quick and dirty punya teknik untuk dapat tahu you punya gaji, berapa property value yang you boleh beli. Right. So senang cerita, kalau gaji you lebih pada 3,500, every RM1,000 salary, you akan dapat 1 juta minimum housing loan. So long story short, kalau gaji you 10,000, you akan boleh dapat 1 juta. Ya. So every 1,000 give you 100,000. So if your gaji 10,000, you akan boleh dapat lebih pada 1 juta punya loan. Macam cakap tadi, if you punya gaji lebih pada 3,500 and you need cash out of 50,000 in the next 12 bulan, komitmen tak terlampau tinggi, secret okay, insyaAllah you will be able to go and do it. By this year pun boleh. Okay. Ada yang tak nampak lagi ke? Right. Kerja luar negara boleh ke? InsyaAllah boleh. Kita ada lebih kurang 20% daripada klien paket 30,000 ni kerja luar negara. So ni cara kita orang beli guys at 30 to 50% discount. Kita ni senang cerita, kita bulk purchase, kita bergerak secara berkumpulan, kita masuk apa-apa projek, kita tak beli 1 unit, kita akan beli 50 unit, 100 unit, 200 unit, therefore kita akan dapat additional discount. So kalau korang boleh dapat normal discount 15, kita boleh dapat sampai 30 hingga 40%. So far konsep dia faham tak guys? Beli banyak, you akan dapat lagi banyak diskaun. You beli 1 unit, susahlah nak dapat diskaun tu. Bahagian ni faham kan guys? Itu cara itu cara untuk kita beli at additional discount. Sebab korang mesti tanya, macam mana nak cari property yang boleh bagi 25% diskaun? Sebab korang susah nak jumpa, betul? Property yang boleh bagi 25% diskaun? So, under personal ataupun sendiri saja, if you bergerak sendiri, is very hard untuk you dapat more than 20% diskaun. But, kalau bergerak secara berkumpulan, beli banyak-banyak, you beli satu, klien lain pun beli satu, kita kumpulkan 50 orang macam you, senang untuk kita dapat diskaun 25% and above. Okay? So, tu cara kita dapat all this additional discount. Okay? So, guys, macam cakap tadi, if you nak beli property yang selamat, korang kena fokus dekat Canran ni, korang kena fokus dekat Canran ni whereby you beli below market and you punya rental boleh dapat minimum 6%. So ni biasanya harga kat luar, kalau you walk in, kalau you beli early bird dapatlah maybe RM700 per square foot, but harga kita kalau kita beli, sebab kita beli 50 unit, 100 unit kita akan dapat, boleh dapat sampai RM450 per square foot. So kita beli lagi murah daripada VVIP. Okay. Now, I'm gonna end my presentation. Okay, I'm gonna end my presentation and then move straight to Q&A sebab I dah cover most of the important punya benda and I think you guys akan ada banyak soalan, so kalau boleh I nak ambil masa banyak sikit untuk cover Q&A sebab pukul 10 lagi 20 minit I akan ada satu lagi webinar. That one is more technical. Right, but again, so malam ni kita ada special offer, right, untuk mereka yang perlukan bantuan. I dah cakap dah tadi, you boleh cuba cari sendiri property yang boleh bagi you 25% discount untuk you dapatkan cash out macam tu. But again, you kena cari property yang betul, not just 25% discount tu. You juga nak kena dapatkan property yang sewa boleh dapat lebih pada 6% supaya property tu tidak jadi hutang jahat. Dia continue jadi hutang baik sebab orang lain tolong bayarkan. Okay. Now, if you look at this deal, you nak the 80,000, 50,000 cash out, 100,000, right? And you nak beli below market, and you tak rasa you boleh buat benda ni sendiri, okay? You boleh engage kita untuk tolong carikan property-property begini. Okay. So, kalau you nak join people like Syafiq, dapat beli 3 property, dapat naikkan savings lebih pada 100,000, right? Dapat pay off kereta sebelum umur 26 tahun. Now dah boleh kahwin tanpa berhutang. You nak jadi macam Ziang, beli property, dapat cash, berhenti kerja buat bisnes sendiri. Right? You nak jadi macam Aimee, settlekan personal loan, kurangkan monthly commitment 6,500 pada 2,000. You nak jadi macam Nora Dila, boleh settlekan 2 personal loan, 2 credit card, 2 car loan and credit card dalam masa tak sampai 2 tahun. Okay. You boleh hire kita dengan this one-off service dengan hanya RM499 saja. Whereby kita akan tolong you carikan property yang meet all of this requirement. For you. So rather than you pening kepala nak cari property yang boleh bagi you minimum 6%, minimum 20% discount ni, you boleh engage kita, right? Untuk tolong you carikan dengan bayar hanya $499. And this is a money back guarantee whereby kalau you gagal, kita gagal carikan you property yang dapat meet this particular objective dalam masa setahun, you akan dapat full refund. Okay? So clear guys? So, with that, I end my presentation. Right? I end my presentation. And kalau you ada soalan, boleh letak dekat kita punya Q&A. Okay, and I think not bad dah ada more than 10 soalan. So let's go and fire the questions. Kita ada 20 minit
Okay, all right. So let's go for the first question. If I want to raise cash using property, should I go for a project that's already 3 to 4 years away from completion, or choose one that's nearly completed to get cash back sooner?
So it depends. Kalau you perlukan the cash, let's say in the next 24 months, you tak boleh lah beli property yang nak siap lagi 4 tahun sebab your cash tu you akan dapat lepas property tu siap. Right? So I bagi contoh, right? So if you look at this deal kan, okay, macam yang first one ni, property ni siap tahun ni. So tahun ni lah dapat duit. Yang ni memang dah siap. So dalam masa 6 bulan you akan dapat duit. Ni pun dah siap, ni pun dah siap, ni pun dah siap. Yang ni akan siap lagi 3-4 tahun. Okay. So if you nak cash tu in the next 12 bulan, you kena beli property yang dah nak siap ataupun dah siap. Clear? Faham? Right, so you have to be very clear. So again, once you sign up, right, on the package tonight ni, you akan go through this thing called 101. Kita akan tengok you punya gaji, kita akan tengok you punya hutang dan apa semua tu, and then after that baru kita bagi tahu boleh beli tak boleh beli, and property apa yang patut you beli berdasarkan goal you. You bagi tahu je dengan my team, you nak pakai duit tu bila. Ya, clear guys?
Okay, next question daripada Ahmad Naim. So, boleh ke property yang ada cashback macam ni kalau gaji saya 4,500?
If you ada gaji 4,500, you akan boleh beli nombor 1 ni, nombor 2 ni, nombor 3, nombor 4. So kalau gaji 4,500, you boleh dapat cash out lebih kurang 50,000 hingga 100,000. Alright?
Okay, all right. Next question is from Zen Ong. Hi, I'm currently engaged and planning to get married soon. I'm looking to raise some cash for the wedding, but I'm also considering buying property. However, I'm currently working at a company that has recently become known for laying off workers. Given this situation, would it be risky for me to invest in property now? Or do you have any better advice for my current situation?
Actually, we have a couple of clients here malam ni yang who can join us. And I think one of them has got very similar story to yours, Scott. So I think you kerja Petronas lah kot, yang nak lay off ni kan. I tak tahulah ini oil and gas company yang nak lay off people kan. So I don't know whether Astrum ada tak malam ni. Alright. Maybe.
He's not joining it yet.
Belum.
Dia belum masuk lagi.
So Astrum went through something similar. Dia bakal kena buang kerja, right? Was offered VSS at that point of time. He decided to take it. And before dia berhenti kerja, he end up buying a property first, dapat cash out of lebih kurang 250,000, which he then used to get married, and then he started his own business. Okay? So for those yang ada kebarangkalian untuk bakal kena berhenti kerja, guys, you have to buy the property before korang berhenti kerja. Sebab once you kena berhenti, USS ke ataupun whatever, right? First, you takkan dapat loan selagi you tak ada kerja. Number 2 here is that even you dapat kerja, you kena tunggu 6 bulan lepas dah confirm. Once you get full confirmation, then only you can actually get a loan. Okay? So faham eh? So, if your job is at risk, I would recommend buying property yang will not be negative cash flow. Okay, won't be negative cash flow. And you have to get your loan done sebelum you kena buang kerja ataupun VSS ataupun kena berhentikan. Okay, clear? Nak buat apa?
Alright, next question. Saya sekarang bekerja tapi hati dah macam malas nak kerja dan plan nak buat bisnes. Ada tak advice macam mana saya boleh berhenti dari kerja dan mulakan bisnes?
First and foremost, you kena tahu bisnes apa yang you nak buat. Bisnes apa yang you nak buat. I don't know whether Haziq is here tonight or not? Team.
Yes.
Maybe Haziq boleh cerita dia punya experience sebab Haziq tak berhenti kerja lagi. Astrum dah berhenti kerja dah. Haziq tak berhenti kerja lagi. Right? So I don't know whether Haziq is here or not. Maybe Haziq can share his story.
Hi,
Ah,
Ampang.
so Haziq tak berhenti kerja lagi. He can quit anytime. Right? He's now doing part-time. We call this hustle income, right? So he's doing part-time. His income today is higher than his 9 to 5 punya salary. He's just keeping his job for networking punya purposes, right? So, and Haziq dah ada berapa property dah, Haziq?
So far saya ada 6. InsyaAllah nak beli beberapa lagi lah this year and next year.
So, how old are you, Haziq?
Today, this year is 33.
Okay, so 33, you got 6 properties, right? So,
Yep.
the reason why orang ni tanya ni, because dia nak berhenti kerja. So, I personally don't recommend, just because you don't want to work anymore, to just simply quit. I recommend whatever the industry yang you nak join tu, you pergi buat part-time dulu. You test dulu the market.
Betul? I agree.
Right? So, look, I invest 7-8 tahun sebelum I berhenti kerja. Right? Many of my students maintain that 2-3, kecuali yang kena berhenti macam BSS, macam Astrum kan. There was no choice lah. Bukan dia tak nak kerja, dia kena diberhentikan kerja, right? So you take advantage, right? But in most cases, I would suggest you beli property, you collect the cash, you test your idea of business tu kecil-kecilan dulu, right? Then only you go. And here's the best part. Guys, takkan nak buat 100-200 ribu additional income, you don't have to quit your job. Tanya Haziq. Right? So Haziq, what do you do today, Haziq? As your income?
Sorry, part-time or full-time?
You punya part-time lah, you punya hasil income.
Okay. My hasil income, basically I do a hasil income in real estate negotiator, in which saya gunakan ilmu apa yang FR ajar untuk bantu orang untuk beli rumah yang betul lah. Dalam masa yang sama juga saya buat hasil income yang lain-lain yang berkaitan dengan hartanah.
Right? So again, he's doing this part-time now, guys. I mean, kita dah ajar benda ni, right? You buat benda ni part-time, it's not that difficult to make a couple of thousand additional per month. Right? So I certainly don't recommend berhenti saja. Right? I would say you test the market dahulu, but at the same time you invest, you buat hasil income sikit-sikit, you berjinak masuk dalam bidang property and then you test. Right? Your idea to make sense ataupun tidak.
Efra, just nak share
Sure.
one of my experience since topik malam ni lebih kepada cerita yang pasal kahwin and then that lelaki kena dump tu kan.
Betul.
Apparently my wife is a good one. Syukur is tu. Saya ingat lagi masa saya nak kahwin tu, baki akaun saya tinggal 300 sebab saya dah prepare duit untuk hantaran, duit kahwin etc. 300 tu is awal bulan and saya kena survive for another 30 days. So saya terfikir sampai bila saya nak stay macam ni. So instead of saya fikir nak resign, so saya decide untuk buat hasil income, right? Apa yang macam FR suggest tadi. Masa tu aim saya senang je. Saya just nak ada extra income untuk saya bayar rental, monthly rental rumah saya. Masa tu ada satu rumah tapi rumah tu lambat siap. That's the aim, right? And bila saya belajar dengan FR pasal property ni semua, pasal property investment, pasal property hustle, Alhamdulillah daripada nak cover that monthly rental tu, now thanks to my mentor over here, saya boleh expand further. And dalam masa yang sama juga, bukannya saya bantu diri saya dan keluarga saya juga boleh bantu keluarga yang terdekat untuk settlekan hutang. This is what happened last time back in 2020, 2021 during PKP.
Right. Oh, you help your brother kalau tak salah kan untuk bayar hutang, betul?
Yeah. Yeah.
So dulu balik kampung pakai kereta apa? Adik?
Dulu to be honest, saya bawa Satria Neo je. Kelakar pasal Satria Neo ni, dia kereta second. Saya bawa masa GU. And masa dating dengan wife saya tu, masa tengah nak dating tu, tiba-tiba kereta tu, radiator bocor. Tentu dia menguji lah kan. Ni, this lady betul nak saya because of me ataupun nak duit. Saya tak ada duit pun kan. So, tepi tu tersangkut tepi jalan, then radiator bocor, dan paksa naik Grab lah. Dulu datang naik taxi balik rumah masing-masing.
Sekarang balik kampung pakai kereta apa?
Alhamdulillah sekarang ni dah pakai Merc.
Okay. Nah, so dulu Satria Neo now Merc So
Merc tu saya tak bayar pun. Tenant yang bayar.
Kulit okay. Merc pun free kan? Okay, guys. So all I can say, benda ni bila you tukar your mindset punya shift. So I senang je, benda ni I dah lama buat. My first car was a BMW umur 28 tahun. My car is free. I tak pernah bayar kereta. Right? My car daripada Porsche ke BMW ke whatever car, free. I've never have to pay for it. Right? Sebab I guna konsep hutang baik versus hutang jahat. Faham guys? So all I can say, dia kena faham if for example, you have to ask yourself, hari ni korang level apa? Ada orang datang tu macam level Haziq waktu mula tu. Right? So I tengok komen kan. Okay. Ada hutang. Saving pun tak ada. Like betul-betul tak ada. Okay. Settlekan hutang dulu, naikkan saving. Okay. And then after that baru cerita pasal beli property banyak-banyak, pakai kereta Merc ataupun BMW for free. It's step by step guys. So you takkan dapat benda tu dalam masa 6 bulan. So this is not a scheme cepat kaya. But you become a client in 2020 Aziq, betul?
2020 during PKP.
So 2020, hutang settle dalam masa 2 tahun, beli Merc after 3 tahun, betul?
2 years. I beli 2022.
2022. So I would say you give yourself 2 to 3 tahun untuk go from negative kan, banyak hutang kepada now okay, dah ada saving minimum 50-100 ribu, then you start aiming for Merc, Mercedes dan apa semua tu. And this is not difficult thing to do guys. All you have to do, you kena ada certain unfair advantage je. Beli property murah, you rajin sikit pergi buat hasil income, boleh dapat 5-10 ribu sebulan. Right? So siapa-siapa yang tak nak berhenti kerja tapi nak belajar, boleh Roger kat Aziq. So I tunjuk contoh ni. Ni memang betul ni. Ni bukan AI. Kau cuba maki sikit bahasa Jawa. Sorry, kurang.
Tak tahu Jawa.
Tak tahu Jawa.
Tapi apa just to share. Masa
Kalau
last-
AI dia tahu
2020
dah. Dia akan dah maki dah bahasa Jawa. Sebab AI tahu semua. Right? So, all I can say, benda ni dia step by step. You can go completely from nothing, you know, broken car, tak ada duit, hutang banyak, to suddenly shift everything dalam masa 3 tahun. Once you faham konsep hutang baik dengan hutang jahat, you beli property below market, you guna cash tu pergi settlekan hutang, pergi naikkan savings, and then you start buat hasil income. Okay guys. So Aziq, thank you so much for coming here to share your right. So let's go to the next question. Kita ada 10 minit saja lagi.
Dah sampai 10 minit. Okay, let's go. Next question daripada Raif. So, FR, saya terbaca posting FR yang terbaru. So, cerita saya pun lebih kurang sama. Saya pernah ditinggalkan oleh ex-girlfriend. Kami dah lama bersama tapi tak dapat kahwin sebab saya tak ada simpanan. Ada tak tips atau carangan macam mana saya boleh mula menyimpan supaya bila ada pasangan yang baru nanti, saya boleh rancang hubungan yang lebih serius dan stabil?
I mana pernah kena tinggal dengan ex? I yang tinggalkan ex. So I don't, you know, like I said, I dah faham konsep ni dah umur 24 tahun. So waktu I nak kahwin tu, okay je, I dah ada 3-4 property dah guys. So for 28 tahun memang tak ada kereta tapi dah ada 3-4 property, okay lah. Right? Yang gaji I pun waktu tu dah sedap. Right? So, point number 1, but I think you tengah cerita pasal benda ni kan. So all I can say, you faham konsep financial engineering, you faham konsep hutang baik hutang jahat, you faham konsep beli rumah below market value, you faham konsep guna orang lain untuk bayarkan you punya installment dan dapat additional tu, you faham konsep cash out, you dah boleh buat dah benda ni. Right? I dah ajar in the last half an hour. Now, kalau korang pening lagi, macam mana nak buat benda ni, like I said, simple solution, invest the 499, go and discover property yang kita ada tu, yang you boleh beli. And again, full refund I guess. Kalau within 1 year, kita gagal carikan tu, ataupun korang tak dapat nak beli because you guys under KPK ke, Sitos, Sikris ke, faham tak? So, okay, I nampak ada beberapa komen. Saya Sitos macam ni, komitmen tinggi macam ni, KPK. Okay, guys, kita ada klien under KPK, lepas 2 tahun dapat beli 3 rumah, guys. Dulu KPK, sekarang dah ada 3 rumah. Okay. Ada yang dulu, Sitos kena blacklist. Okay, for whatever reason, right? Dapat keluar masa setahun, hari ni dah ada 2 atau 3 property. Okay. Now, when you decided to pay tu, invest the 499 tu, my team akan ajar you how to get out. What's the best way to go and do it? Again, kalau kita gagal ni kan, kita dah bagi nasihat ni untuk you cara untuk buat, and you dah pergi buat and still gagal beli, you akan dapat refund. You have nothing to lose. Betul tak? You have nothing to lose. Worst case, kau dapat ilmu 1 year, kau belajar free, pergi masuk property tour, kan? Dapat makan free, pergi masuk bar, tengok property, belajar apa semua tu setahun, gagal, minta lah refund. What do you have to lose? I don't want to keep your money kalau kita gagal. Okay? So, I tak nak janjikan bulan dan bintang, tapi kita dah pernah fikir berjaya beli rumah lepas 2 atau 3 tahun. Tapi dia bukan dalam masa 6 bulan lah guys. Sebab korang dah kena blacklist. Dia akan ambil masa untuk keluarkan pada blacklist tu. But benda tu kita dah pernah buat. Okay. Ada klien dulu bankrupt, isteri dia datang jadi klien Far Capital, beli property dapat cashback, bayarkan hutang suami. Hari ni suami tak bankrupt dah. Ada. So benda ni memang boleh buat. But you kena faham how to play the game. You kena faham what is the unfair advantage. You kena cari deal yang betul dan apa semua tu. Dan boleh lah. There's nothing impossible guys. You ada ilmu, you ada cara, you kreatif sikit, nothing is impossible. I mean you dengar kan? Cerita Haziq tadi. He had nothing. He had a few hundred ringgit je. And today he's driving a Merc. Property dah ada 6 biji guys. Baru 5 tahun. Okay. Nothing is impossible. Okay. Nothing is really like nothing is impossible. And again, I don't need to keep your 499 tu kaya. I just nak tengok siapa yang serius dengan tak serius. Tu je. Sebab semua orang cakap serius. But kalau kita bagi benda ni for free nanti, lepas tu kau buang masa tim aku, buang masa staff aku, and then lepas tu tak reply dan apa semua, kita penat. So at least if you tak reply, burn lah 499 tu. If you malas, dia burn. But you buat kerja tu yang gagal, kita bagi refund. I nak yang serius je. Serius kita tolong. Yang tak serius, main jauh-jauh. Tolong. Jangan buang masa kita. Boleh lah guys?
Alright. Okay, moving on to the next question from Ida Ibrahim. So how can we claim we bought properties with zero capital since we have to pay progressive fee until the property is completed?
Oh, this is a very good question. So again, you akan appreciate apa yang Far Capital buat. So let's say for example, property ni Lara ni kan, dia hujung tahun ni baru siap, right? Yang ni lagi 3 tahun baru siap. Right? Yang lain ni semua dah siap lah. Your Monica, Diana, Abby, Yuna ni dah siap. So tak ada masalah. Tapi Lara tak siap lagi. Vivi pun tak siap lagi. Now, these two property ni kita dah, sebab kita again kita beli banyak kan. So klien kita akan dapat special deal. Whereby dia dapat je loan tu dah disburse, dia akan dapat 25,000 cash. Sebelum property tu siap, which kita dah kira cukup untuk cover interest cost sampailah property tu siap sis. So soalan you betul ke zero down? Dekat Far Capital legit lah. Sebab you bukan dapat your 80,000 cash out tu towards the end je. Daripada awal you akan dapat 25,000 upfront, cukup untuk cover you punya interest cost. Okay, kita dah prepare, kita dah fikir siap dah. Kalau deal tu tak ada, for example, benda ni tak ada, kita akan bagi tahu dekat dalam kita punya deal punya tu, briefing. Okay, so memang kita dah fikirkan, so majority property kita yang tak siap lagi ni, dia akan ada cash out of 25,000 hingga 30,000 yang you akan dapat tahun ni bila you beli, untuk cover interest sampai rumah tu siap. Okay, faham lah? Let's go, next question.
Alright, next question is from Alvin Chan. So, hi, I recently bought a property under construction in JB, which will be ready only in 2029. My question is, will I be able to get another property as I worry my DSR won't approve?
So, Alvin, which is why we love to buy property which is about to be completed lah. So, we don't like to buy property that is going to take years to be completed because then you are stuck. Okay. So, I don't know what's your income. I also don't know what is the maximum loan eligibility. So, therefore, the only way here is that, like I said, you sign up, right, tonight. If you really cannot buy anything in the next 1 year, you get a full refund, right? So, there's no risk to you. If you cannot do the job, right, So, for example, right, you ada 700,000 loan eligibility, right? And you have bought a property worth 500,000 dekat Johor, right? So you only left 200,000. So normally in such cases, right, you probably need to find a job that will increase your salary to increase. Sebab you already made the mistake of buying something that is cost 500,000 and it's taking 5 years to be completed. Okay.
Okay, next question is from Aisha. So the data percentage shown, is it based on best case scenario or on average performance?
These are recorded rentals already, right? These are recorded rentals. This is not Airbnb. This is recorded long-term rental. It's not even co-living, not Airbnb. It's recorded long-term rental. This is actual performance. Not projection, not estimation, actual recorded close rental. So those are the numbers that we use. Kita tak pakai future numbers. We don't use Airbnb. We don't use co-living. We are using actual long-term rental punya numbers.
Okay, all right. So next question from Mac Tang. So if I take cashback, I worry it will increase my DSR while applying for future housing loan. So any advice on this?
For our clients, it's not a problem because your rental is actually quite high. So you see, this is the thing, right, Mac? If you buy a property, you take cashback, let's say 100,000, but your property has got 4% rental yield, you negative cash flow is one. Number two, it will affect your LE, loan eligibility, your DSR. But you got rental, right? So if you are getting a rental of 8%, even if you take 100,000 cashback, it's still more than what you have to pay to the bank. Which is why, look, you saw Haziq just now, right? Haziq's income is not 10,000, bro. Working. All right? His income is not 10,000. Right? He's not working for a oil and gas company. Understand? So, if you buy something that gives you 4% rental yield, habis lah. You're right. Dia akan kacau. Right? But, if, right, you are buying 7, 8, 9%, then it's not going to disturb your future loan application. Okay?
Alright, next question is from Musa. Booking untuk klien 1,000. Lepas tu ada ke kos lain lagi yang lebih 10K like MOT, MRTT or lawyer cost?
I think we can call in one more client, right? Dekat sini, Nakib. Nakib is here. Maybe Nakib kan cerita dia punya first time buying experience in terms of cost, right? So for Far Capital ni, kita akan bagi tahu siap-siap Musa, whereby how much is the capital required for every deal. So long story short, you jujur je lah dengan kita punya success manager, you bagi tahu lah modal you berapa, right? If contohnya modal you memang ada 5,000, janganlah beli property yang you punya modal tu kena lebih daripada 10,000. Make sense? You just jujur je. And you become a FACAP client, you just have to jujur je. Tell us your goal, tell us how much cash you have, and then we tell you, okay bro, don't buy property A, go buy property B. Nakib, how many property you have bought dengan kita so far?
Okay, testing. Dengar ke?
Dengar.
Alright. Okay, sekarang ni Assalamualaikum, good evening. Sorry lah kalau bunyi penat sikit baru balik kerja.
No problem.
Alright. Okay, setakat ni baru satu property. I start joining the FACAP, I think February last year. Okay, so I buy a project and based on my experience, okay, ni kalau cakap pasal tak ada modal, kira cerita paling jimat lah yang saya sendiri lalui. Saya tak tahu orang lain tapi saya boleh cakap pasal data diri saya lah. Okay, I buy a project, only a booking 1,000. Okay, then I get back after the reimbursement of cashback. Okay, bukan setakat tu je. Tapi sebab waktu tu credit score okay, for example lah, waktu tu gaji pun tak besar sangat, dalam 4,000 lebih, tak sampai 5,000 pun.
Then my success manager cadangkan ambil this project for Miss Kia. Then the bank evaluate my credit. I get, I think 94% loan. Okay. Then the cashback go to 87,000, 86,000. Okay. Then I get the property. I renovate the property from the renovator yang saya kenal dekat tua juga. Okay. Then yang paling bestnya, I expect mungkin dalam 3 hingga 6 bulan mungkin ada problem. Okay, so I expecting a negative cash flow. But after renovating, after all of renovation habis semua, 2 weeks it takes to get fully tenanted. Then right now I enjoying positive 800 cash flow every single month. So
You dapat
okay lah. What do you expect, right?
Yeah, so and your property is a 300,000 ringgit punya property, right? 3 bilik, right? Dekat Selangor.
Yeah, correct. The
Yeah.
cheapest one. Sebab apa? Sebab waktu tu gaji tak tinggi sangat. Okay, gaji je tak tinggi sangat. Trying to get Yuna tapi waktu tu susah sikit. Sebab sikit lagi tak cukup dulu. So it's okay. Kita ambil dulu apa yang kita boleh.
What do you mean waktu tu gaji tak tinggi sangat?
Waktu tu kira macam kalau Yuna tu nak dengan gaji yang ada sekarang tu, macam bank pun macam nampak payah sikit lah nak lepaskan lah dengan ada komitmen sikit semua kan. Then go for Miss Kia. Okay, sebab Miss Kia pun dia punya cashback dia pun not bad. Okay, then macam yang belajar dalam team Fakib lah, cashback dia jangan jolly. Do something. Leverage the money to make your unit better lah. Better looking. So biar boleh accommodate orang yang level sepatutnya. That's what I do lah.
Awesome, Nakib.
Then one of...
What happened to Nakib? Lain dia tak berapa bagus . So, by the way guys, kita ada 10 o'clock punya crowd for our next punya webinar called Deal or Grill. So, you can continue to stay and lepak if you want to learn more. But in the meantime, for our Deal or Grill punya crowd, give us another 5 to 10 minutes. We settle the Q&A and then we will quickly move to Deal or Grill, okay? So, let's go aja.
Okay, all right. Next question is from Kai Yang T. So for the rental rate shown in the slide, is it gross rental yield or net rental yield? What is the signal to sell our property? Is it when net rental yield reach 6% and below, or gross rental yield reach below 6%?
First and foremost, to answer your question is gross rental yield, number one. But those are based on long-term rental. This is not Airbnb, this is not co-living, this is not short-term rental, long-term rental. So it's gross rental, so you then tolak your normal maintenance, you tolak one agent fee and all of that. But even if you tolak, you still minus 1%. So if you're getting 8, you're still getting net 7%. So in terms of how you exit, I would say you are looking at a 5% net.
Sorry, terputus. Line tak tahu kenapa. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sambung balik.
Tak apa, Nakib.
Okay, sambung balik.
Appreciate it. Yeah, your sharing. So let us quickly cover the questions. Right, so I hope I answered your question tadi. So basically based on gross rental yield, and the exit point will be net at 5%.
Okay, all right. So next question is from Wendy. Those properties, why unsold until it need to give huge discount to far capital? It must have a reason.
What a phenomenal question, Wendy. So the reason why it's unsold, for example, like this one in Johor, it was being sold for 1.2 million, Wendy. last time. That's why it's unsold. So there are people who buy this property at 1 million, 1.2 million. So when they sell to us at RM500,000, right, they cannot sell publicly, tell everyone, I'm giving a RM500,000 discount or 50% discount. Then the previous buyer will get very upset, Wendy. So they use platform like Far Capital to sell this property quietly. You see, none of this property exists from a name point of view. These are actual property, but I use a different name. Okay? And the reason why we cannot reveal until you become a client simply because we sign NDA with the property developer, we cannot reveal the property name and discount to the public. Only paying clients will have access, right, to the deal and full information. So these properties are unsold simply because it was at a bad price point. It wasn't the right price point to begin with. At 50% discount, it becomes at the right price, right? So this iPhone, if I sell to you at 15,000, right? This iPhone that I'm using, you're going to tell me overpriced, you won't buy. But if I sell it to you at 2,000 ringgit, you're going to buy it. Because below market value. That's it. Nothing has changed. Property never changed. The phone doesn't change. What changed? Only price point. So at this price point, cannot sell. After a 50% discount, this becomes a good buy. And the reason why they use our platform, because we do it quietly, we don't reveal. Okay?
Okay, next question is from Victor. So I would like to clarify on the cashback or cash out mentioned. Does it mean buying property with discount from developer, but the SPA price will still reflecting the original price? So the cash comes from the mortgage loan. If that's the case, usually projects that are already completed should be prioritized, since HDA will dictate how the loan money being used by developers. So is there any way or tunnel to spot these deals?
I'm not sure if I understand the last part of your question. The first part is that, yes, SPA price remains the same, right? SPA price remains the same. Your cash out comes from the mortgage. That is true, right? So there's no money left in the HDA account. And for example, if you're talking about the 2.5 balance, right? That goes to the developer, not really to you. So I don't understand the last bit of the question, Victor. Sorry.
All right. Next question is from Vignesh Warren. So is it fine if I buy auction properties at below 30% BNB, rehab and resale to gain at least 50K profit after 50% company tax, assuming the purchase price around 100K and trade off around 200K, since it is highly affordable for B40 and 40 buyers. So I may apply same method on few properties same time with investment fund around 700K.
You could, you definitely could do that. And I don't think it's a worse deal compared to our deal. The only thing here is that when you buy auction property, you need a lot of cash. So if you are buying 100,000 property, you have to probably stand by about 40,000 cash to purchase down payment, transaction costs, and repairs and furnishing before you can sell it. Right? So for those who have got the money to play the game, you can go ahead. What we do here is really to help people who don't have the cash. Right? So you know, we exist for a reason. You can hear the process just now from Nakib, from Haziq. They don't use a single cent of their own cash to own anything in FACAP. Right? So if they have 700,000, they don't need to become a client. Right? So but they don't have it. They have a few hundred ringgit in their bank account. That's why they choose to become a client, so that they can have access to 100,000 cash. So kita bantu B40 and 40 who don't have the means to go and buy to put 300,000 to buy one property. Okay.
Okay, so last question. This one is from Lucas. So macam mana korang control rental yield boleh sampai tinggi macam tu? Cause korang beli bulk tapi bukan the whole block. So mesti orang yang rent out lower to get tenant. So mesti ada risk kan?
Here's the thing. They are buying at a higher price point, bro. Kita beli 400,000, dia beli 500,000. Takkan dia nak sewa lagi murah? Dia lagi rugi teruk pada kita lah. Kita punya mortgage 1,400, dia punya mortgage 2,500. Because mortgage pun kita ada mortgage special. So, you want to reduce your rental to 1,200, no problem. But you negative cash flow lebih 1,000 lah. Kita negative 200. So, no matter what, we still win because we buy cheaper. Number one, we have more cash to renovate the unit properly. Number two, and when you put the right unit, you renovate the unit properly using the cash out that you get, guess what? You get the best pool of tenant juga. Right? Simple je. Look guys, if you want to buy property, don't lose money. You just have to remember a few simple tricks. Number one, make sure you are buying at the lowest price. Number two, your installment is the lowest. Number three, you got the most cash out so that you can renovate your unit properly. Number four, because you renovate your unit properly, you got the one of the best unit in the development. Guess what? You attract the best possible tenant who are willing to pay 20, 30, 40% higher. Okay? I'll give you a couple of scenarios. This Yuna, for example, when we bought it earlier, the agents are telling our client, sewa 1,200, 1,300 je. I say, F that shit because the agents don't know what they are doing. Therefore, you renovate elok-elok and you put a asking price of minimum 1,008. Guess what? My client get tenant of 1,880 ringgit within 2 weeks. That is 40% higher than what the agent tell him. Alright? Bukit Jelutong sama juga. Agent tell him 1,800 je boleh sewa kat sini. I tell them, again, the agent don't know what they are doing. Renovate betul-betul because you got the cash out. And now you are getting 2,006 minimum all the way to even now the highest kita dapat is 4,000 per month. Long-term rental. So you follow the strategy. Buy lowest. Mortgage make sure it's the lowest. Get the most cash out so that you can renovate your unit properly so that you can attract the best tenant who can pay the best amount of money. And the best tenant is good paymaster, guys. Dia bukan yang kedekut tu. The worst tenant are the kedekut guys because your unit nampak macam taik, therefore you attract taik tenant. You have to remember, guys. Unit taik will attract taik tenant who will always give you problem. Cheap units attract cheap tenants, cheap people. And these people will damage your unit, tak bayar, mak matilah, nenek matilah, kucing matilah, ada je problem. Right? So when you do up your unit properly, you attract the best possible tenant. That's why we can get 20 to 30% higher compared to what most people are getting. And orang tak percaya we can get that high. I don't blame them. Right? Because not everyone know what to do with the property after they bought it. But we did our homework, we did our research, and today the data is very clear. So again, guys, every single one of the case study I tunjuk ni tonight, right? These are all recorded rental. These are all long-term rental. Recorded rental, long-term rental lah. Not Airbnb bullshit, not co-living, not letak 5 orang additional kat living room. No. This is long-term rental. Okay? Airbnb tak termasuk. Okay, if you put Airbnb, this is going to be even higher. Sebab apa? You tengok unit Albee ni, yang last kali ni, right? You see the last one? Here we put 6,500. Do you know how much we are getting short term? 11,000. I could have put 11,000 kat sini. But I don't. Sebab I only want to put the long-term rental recorded. So ingat ke guys, pesan macam mana nak buat benda ni? This is not a complicated game. You have information advantage, you know what to do with the unit, you have deal advantage, you got structure advantage, you akan dapat cash out and cash flow advantage. Simple je. Tak tahu macam mana nak buat, invest the 499, be a client. Okay? Thank you so much guys for joining our special webinar tonight. So I think we are behind time, right? We are behind time. Right, so therefore, we're gonna move on to the next agenda, which is our deal or grill. Right, so with that, I want to call upon both Zakri dengan Albee, right, to come over and start our deal or grill session.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Without further ado, we're going to start for our deal or grill for tonight. So tonight we have 5 exciting property, and I see actually quite many people sign up for today. Probably the area is much more interesting. Everyone is asking whether the location is tier one, whether this we have two maybe can be say comparable product in terms of location. People are arguing. So let's put it for you guys to see which one do you guys think is a better bet of the property of the location that people are eyeing on. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to start for today. So this is just a simple context of why we are doing this lah. So we just wanted to see on current property trends, which one how is the price going on the market, you know, is it better to go for own stay, and how is it look for our investment purpose, because we have difference in terms of our investment criteria. Some people will look on the prices slowly. That I have met some of investors who just look on buying the lowest price, not the per square foot, but it's absolute price. So it's a different kind of investment strategy. So we are just here to share the current context lah. So we try to discover the incorrect facts. Some agents outside maybe will say, oh, this is the location, but indeed maybe that's the actual locations. This is how we wanted to see whether the facts being shared is true or not. So on the next slide is our past Battle Royale episode. So in Battle Royale, we've mainly discussed on the area. So we have actually uncovered about 11 areas. So you guys can check out in our Boss Faizul Ridzuan YouTube channel. So on the next slide is our property that we have reviewed in our deal or group. And also we have some special series. We have some first home buyer series and also foreigners friendly series. So properly discussed for those who are like, we have seen quite many of who joined today who are actually eyeing at age, what should I buy on our first home? Okay, is it a go for an own stay or an investment? So probably you can just look at some of the series. Probably the series number 7 is on first home buyer. So the price is not that high or like compared to investor. So this is all in our YouTube channel. Okay, so on the next slide is how actually we would classify in our property investment journey, right? So when we purchase a property, probably we are looking for something that is below market value because we wanted to exit easily. At least we don't have a lot of competitors to compete with. If we enter at a slightly higher price point, then of course you have the pain if you exit, you know. Maybe you have some difficulty, you know, you lose some competitions towards others investor lah. And also rentability, the location itself, in terms of ROI, wanted to look for some property that can easily be rent out lah. And also exit lah, in terms of the prices in future, how is it in terms of maybe in capital appreciations for those property you're looking for. Some people will actually stay first or even like invest first, or then they go for own stay later on. So it's a different things that we see on this investment journey, I would say. So on the next slide is why are we considering of buying, like is it best to go for the first time as a purchasing as from the main markets, meaning probably from the developer, or you go for the sub-sales second-hand market, or go for the auction. So probably there's a different kind of capital that you have to prepare, like just from the sharing from some of our panelists from our previous sessions, they did say that, oh, they invested, but they didn't use up their own pocket money. They use some cash out money from the government that they have from Far Capital. So they get to pay their down payment because it's been covered. Even some of MOT is being covered, some legal fees or stamp duty is covered. So it all depending on different sessions that you buy. Probably if you go for auction market, you have to ready quite a amount of cash, especially maybe on the renovation and also the down payment parts when you go for the bidding side. So it's different if, let's say, you are really new today, maybe going for the first market is much more better than going for this sub-sale and auction because you're not really familiar with all the procedures of doing that. Okay, on the next slide is the star rating metrics. So we have classified into different rating to help you guys to understand how do we rate this property lah. So on our point of view is much more lenient. So we have classified in 3 criteria, which is can rent, can sell, and capital requirement. So on can rent, it's probably whether your mortgage is your renter is able to cover your mortgage on how many percentage. So if let's say it will give positive cash flow, meaning you are making some profit. So it's about 4 star or 5 star and above. Okay. Can sell is probably on the prices, whether you are buying at the median price or if you are buying a slightly expensive side of the area. So probably it's a 1 to 2 star kind of thing. So if let's say you are buying below the median, because from certain channel, probably like from us or something, there probably is a below median. So it's about 4 to 5 star. Capital requirement is about whether do you need cash when you purchase this property, because in current market some property offer like 0 down payment, but some property will ask you to pay about 2% down payment, and some property give you cash out. So it really depending on which criteria to it. So to avoid banks having issue, or the certain project having issue on the financing, so we won't disclose like exactly okay this is having cash out of 60k 100k or anything. We will just classify the star, so it's within the range lah, so you guys can have a look later on. Okay, so next slide. This is probably some of the property that we have bought for. So I'm not sure, maybe some of you are just here who have missed the previous sessions. So we have different properties. So we have actually labeled according to code name, because we have signed NDA lah, so we can't disclose what's the exact name. So all the photos that you guys see here is for illustration purpose only. The name also for illustration purpose. We'll just tell you where's the location is in the tier 1 area in KL. So when you want to know which area in KL is being classified tier 1, you can watch our Battle Royale. So we have actually classified certain area. So the prices, so you guys can see at which range you are. So maybe there's something that you can consider of investing in, then that's it lah. So for like Soya, for example, can rent is about 5 star because it's going to give you positive cash flow because of the area, the rentability. So below market value, you guys can see from a price is about 700k, but area million is close to 1 million. So this is why we are saying that we are buying below million. So capital requirement, as I said, if you got like some cash out, so you get more star, like 4 star and above. Actually, liquidity is about when you wanted to exit the market segmentation. So for example, this Soya is happened to be in a multinational area. So for us, they have much more target segmentation that you can target for when you wanted to exit. So you not only can target to locals or single tenant family, so there's some foreigners that you can target when you wanted to exit. So this is how we classify. So this is first is Soya. So next is probably we have is Dora. So is different. So you guys can see we have classified like the rent by below market value, like capital requirement for this property. We have more than 50k of cash out that you can take for, so it's a 5 star. So you can see we are not really that say okay, we all the property we buy, so we have to go all 5 star. We study across the market. Just for your context, all of us from research from Park Capital, and we have what we study is actually real estate valuation simply. So we do all this market study. We study that also in our university's time. So to give you guys a context on is it the rentability, how it should looks like lah. Okay, so
By the way, I think it's good to highlight the education level of Albee and Zakri lah, before people suddenly just cakap-cakap kan. Kita ni sembang saja. Albee graduate mana Albee?
I graduated from UM.
Degree apa tu?
Degree in real estate.
Oh, real estate. So you know real estate lah. That's why you have a degree.
Tak ada macam ni lah. Okay lah. But okay, I can share a little bit. Last time, like today, okay, we are doing market research for like as an investor, right? So last time my study, my working background was I was doing market study for developer. So like developer will come for a consultant from our company. We are an MNC lah. Don't say so much, but yeah. So they ask us, okay, piece of land, what is the highest and best use? So we give recommendations. So we do all this market study lah. But at the end, whether the developer take it or not, it's a it's a different thing lah. So okay, so that's why I changed my channel to see how investment on like as a sole investor would looks like. Yeah.
Zakri apa Zakri background?
Biasa-biasa saja, sama juga real estate.
Oh, dia satu level tinggi dekat I.
Oh,
Dia study
real estate apa tu?
master.
From
Diploma ke?
Masters.
Okay.
Master in UM lah. So I sama dengan Iherng lah. Iherng also master in real estate in UM lah.
Right. So guys, kita bukan panggil any Tom, Dick and Harry just because Albee comel ataupun Zakri handsome. Kita tak hire orang sebab rupa, guys. Kita hire orang sebab they are qualified. They know what they are talking about. Okay. So I think lah, it's just good to set context because I think because when people cannot answer, orang cakap kita punya criteria, they begin to say, of course lah, these guys can talk sebarangan lah. Who are they and apa semua tu. Right? So guys, we hire proper graduates. Number one, we put proper metrics in order to make sure that we get the analysis correct. Okay. So I think Albee, why don't we just quickly start with our top 5 tonight, and as we go along, if we can't see any questions, then we can basically quickly move to the Q&A.
Sure, no problem. So you guys can see this is some of property that you can just print screen. If you're interested, you can just consult from your SM. I guess there's some client also here for today. So for today, we have 5. We have Enlace Suites, Riverpark. Enlace Suites is the Pantai Central Park, PSP. Riverpark, they labeled it as Bangsa South. So probably these two is a bit arguable in their location. They are eyeing on this Bangsa sort of thing. We have Aspira, we have Paragon Gateway in JB, and Astrum Ampang. So for information, some of the photo is just for illustration purpose. It doesn't simply represent the actual of the development, just for your context, okay? So for the next one is we're going to start for the first one for today. Okay, we have Paragon Gateway in JB.
All right. So our first property to review. The first one gonna be in JB, right? This one I think very hot. Other than those WCT properties, those hot properties sekarang on the tier 2 JB, I think this is one of the hottest as well for the past 2 to 3 years, right? By Joe Land. Paragon Gateway JB. This one located at Jalan Tebrau, about 5 to 6 kilometers CIQ. Right, so this one, you guys can screenshot the details first. I'm gonna go into details, right? But roughly, you got about 2,136 units, number of units of residential tower on top of 4 towers, right? That's roughly about 5 acres plus of land. It's a freehold development. They have 1-bedder up to 3-bedder size from 499, near Majidi area lah, that side, right? And from 499 to 1177 square feet, right? They have 1-bedder, 1+1, 2-bedder, and 3-bedder size, right? Year of completion about 2027. And these are those facilities are located at level 10. They have the infinity swimming pool and sky gym, gardens, and other facilities including the children playground, jogging track, and apa semua, right? And those are the amenities and accessibilities. The main one is Jalan Tebrau. They are located just next to Jalan Tebrau. The main access connecting those Austin area to the CIQ JB City Center, right? Also located near Mid Valley Mega Mall. ADR Expressway is also nearby. They got primary school, secondary school, colleges, and healthcare, shopping malls, also all nearby in the area, right? So next slide. Yes, Jalan Tebrau is quite jammed. I think JB, we are talking about those jalan towards the CIQ is all jam one, right? Okay. So this is a USP that they are looking at. They are talking about on the Asian perspective and what we think about the area also, right? First one is prime location with the great accessibilities. First, next to Jalan Tebrau. Second, 5 minutes to Med Valley. Third is 12 minutes to CIQ lah. So we couldn't disagree. So this one is the fact about this area. We would say this one is considered one of the best located as well in terms of property in the tier 2 area of JB lah, right? 5-star facilities and mixed development, we would say is maybe, right? Mixed development is a fact, but 5-star facilities depends on how the people derive this, but they don't have the rooftop pool as they only have a 1 floor facilities at level 10 at the facilities for podium lah. All right, it's quite basic lah, right? And it's a freehold. We would say that this area, there are few properties under leasehold properties. But this one is one of the freehold properties that are available in the area, right? Shuttle bus to CIQ, I think it's quite normal today. JB properties, which you are 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, 6 kilometers away, they provide shuttle bus to CIQ, at least for the first 2 years for free, right? And the downside for this area that we think, this development of what we think is high density, about 2,100 units, all right? So that's the only downside that we think for this one, right? So next slide.
Just I think for context, but I think we have a lot of new guys. Siapa kat sini first time join us for Deal or Grill? Anyone here first time? Ramai tak? Okay. So why do we do Deal or Grill? Because we are trying to discuss hot projects. And then what we're trying to do is to uncover what is the facts, what is the crafty selling point and downright lies, basically, right? So if you look at the slide just now, for example, if you pass back, tadi, right? So basically, we're going to call the agent and the developer, we're going to ask them what's the USP and all of that, and sometimes they're going to lie about it, right? So in this particular development, when you see a lot of green, means we agree lah, all is good. The red bit is something that was not highlighted properly. Let's say, for example, a 2,000 density is a bit unproven in Johor. That's why to us, now, Johor will be completely transformed after RTS, but for now, a development with 2,000 units, so facilities, not really 5-star, right? Is a question mark. We're not saying it's negative, but for now, it's a question mark.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, right? So you guys, when you attend Deal or Grill, you're going to see the full story. You're going to see the other side. So again, we're not going to say this development good, bad. We're going to rate it accordingly. But we're also going to uncover what is the incorrect facts. And if there's something that is good and they are missing, we're also going to share.
Betul.
Right? So any agent trying to lie, we're going to cut, we're going to cut them, we're going to cut them out in the open in live sessions macam ni. And we have developers right after DOG, the next day completely change their whole selling point from got GRR to no GRR, right? So we have seen it before lah, right? So in a way, it's just good lah, because we want to have a healthy industry. We don't want people to lie. We don't want customers to buy, or clients or property buyers to buy something that they are not fully aware of, right? So that's why we do Deal or Grill. So this is for the benefit of people who have just joined us first time. So it's going to be a little bit technical. We're going to rate it properly. Obviously, you can disagree with our rating. That's not a problem. But like everything else, we have to justify lah. Why we give something 2-star? Why do we give something 4-star? Okay, carry on, Zach.
Right. So on the rate points, it's not those things that not highlighted by agent or developer, but those are also misinfo lah, right? Those are the things that we think is not true when they said it's a low density development. Obviously, it's a 2,100, for example, right? So we're gonna rate it. We're gonna make it red lah, right? So those kind of thing, right? So next is on the investment verdict. So what we see here, the pricing starting from about roughly 780 ringgit PSF, depends on the unit. On the median side, this area, they don't have new median transacted, but we do mention here the RTS side on the new median 760 and older median on the tier 2 JB is roughly about 525.30 lah, right? On the rental side, we have those directly comparable. Opposite side, 1 Tebrau residence, 1-bedder, 2-bedder, 3-bedder is up to 2,000. 2-bedder is up to 2001 and 3-bedder is up until 2006 as of today, right? 1-bedder is really high lah, would say in most of JB area, right? And KSL Esplanade is roughly on a little bit higher rental side, rental range. So you can see the 1-bedder is up to 2.5, 2-bedder is up to 3.3, and 3-bedder is up to 4,000. Simply due to because of they attached to the mall, one of the biggest mall in JB as well, right? And they have this mixed development feature together with the hotel. So they have those premiums, right? And you can see on the last part is a mortgage. Can go back to the slide. On the mortgage part, can see based on 90% and 4% interest rate, can see roughly from 1-bedder to 3-bedder is up to 1,008 up to 4,001 mortgage at 90% for 3-bedder lah. So this is roughly 8, right? So next slide. All right, so we based on can rent 2-star to 4-star is simply due to because some of the unit like 3-bedder might only can cover 70% installment, right, based on the comparable developments in the area. But 4-star is based on some of the unit, especially 1-bedder, can go up to 300, 400, 500 ringgit positive cash flow, depending on how you project your unit, plus what kind of unit that you are taking. Hence, we give it a 2 to 4-star rating. Can sell, we give it a 2-star. It's above O median, one, no new median in the area. O asking also quite low in the area. Hence 2-star is roughly about 10 to 20% above median. Capital requirement, we give it a 2-star as of today. It's roughly about can get a 0 down payment, but need to pay for MOT and some more renovation costs lah. Hence it's a 2-star lah, right? Can stay is based on the personal preference. All right. So that's about the rating. Let's call the rest of the panelists to come and what do you think about this particular property lah, Paragon Residence? Can go back to the previous slide, Azrin, right? Where's the Faizul?
Again, guys, for the benefit of people who are first time, maximum star can be awarded is 5.
Yeah.
Lowest is 0. Right? So maximum is 5, low is 0. But sorry guys, I baru nak dinner. So I'm too hungry. So I had to do it while tengah buat webinar ni. So luckily my team is speaking lah. So I got opportunity to makan my dinner lah. Alright. So anything in a way which is a 3-star and above is very, very safe onwards. It's very rare for us to go with anything at 4-star. Even more so 5-star. We are very kedekut, very stingy, very kiam siap when it comes to giving a full 5-star. Very, very, very rare. Okay. So can stay bed is a personal preference. If you like the area, your workplace is nearby, no matter what we say. So in a way, you got no choice because you have to buy it, right? So for example, like tonight, we are reviewing a place in Taman Desa. Last 5 years, no new development in Taman Desa, which is a private condo, right? So whatever we say, whatever our rating is, if you have and you want to buy something in Taman Desa, that's your only choice. Does that make sense? So it becomes a personal preference, so we don't rate it. So the can rent, can sell, capital requirement is very, very clear, right? If you can get break even onwards, it's 3-star. 4-star means it's already positive cash flow, right? So if you buy at fair market value, it's 3-star. If you buy slightly more expensive, it's 2-star. If you buy 4-star or 5-star, means it's completely below market value, right? So when it comes to capital requirement, the 2-star means that you also have to put some level of capital, especially for renovation later and your interest costs. So when it's 4 to 5-star means you don't have to pay any of it. Okay. So for this property, given the fact that it's 700-ish plus per square foot, right? Which is today quite normal for Johor. But the other cautionary thing that I have to warn you guys against here is that last year, when we went to visit, we were told that there's about 60,000 new supply coming up as far as development approval is concerned in Johor Bahru. Fast forward 6 months later, which is now 2025, that number has gone up to 6 figures, 6 angka, more than 100,000. Right? If you can, please watch our Better Royal Johor. Right? Because we give you a guide. If you're going to buy Johor, please understand what is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 in Johor, what is tier S, and what is the advisable price point. Okay? This is basically part of tier 2, right, Zach?
Betul.
Right? This is nearby Austin. Right? Right? So for us, in this area, we pay nothing more than 450 per square foot. Right? Which is why we can say wholeheartedly, at 750 per square foot, this is a 2-star. Because why? We pay 450 ringgit per square foot. Today, we are buying 450 per square foot. So ni bukan suka-suka guys, that we give 2-star. We don't like the development, we don't like the agent, don't like the developer's boss. Then we suddenly give 2-star, 1-star. We don't do that lah. Right? Even for friends, right? Friends come and complain to us, why you rate my development 2-star? I deserve a minimum 4-star. Right? So even for friends, we don't change our rating for money. Right? So again to give context, right? Why this is 2-star, can rent, can sell, can stay. So I think, Zach, in the interest of time, let's just move on, and then towards the end, we're just gonna pick our best.
Okay.
Okay. So this
Alright.
so we're just gonna cover a little bit why we rated certain things, right? So again, our concern for this development, facilities okay je. Location is actually quite good. 750 is a little bit on the high side, especially when we are entering prime Mount Austin at below 500 ringgit per square foot, and our property about to be completed this year, so tak payah nak tunggu lama. While this one will take longer lah. And I think our property density not even more than what, 700 units for 450 per square foot.
Not as much as this lah.
Huh?
Not as much as this lah. This one is 2,100.
Yeah, so it's 1/3 of the supply and is 40% cheaper. To give you context, and even that property we don't give 5-star. At 450 per square foot, guys, we don't even give 5-star. See, kedekut. Zakri lah kedekut. Ni lah hantar dia pergi belajar master kat UM terus jadi kedekut kan. Dulu suka-suka je dia bagi 5 bintang. Okay, carry on.
Sifu. Belajar dari Sifu. Right, next.
Okay, the next one we have is Enlace Suites from Pantai Central Park lah. So this is by IJM Amona Group. So just a bit of this context of this area. So everyone was actually eyeing on Bangsa South. Okay, so they have Bangsa South is actually a commercial area being built up by UA Group lah. So it's regardless you are in by the UA product as the master plan of their corporates, their Silicon Valley, and also this upcoming PSP is a different master plan. So they are both in Kerinci area. It's just the master plan name. So Bangsa South is from all the UA lah. So IJM has their own also, just slightly a bit behind from the Kerinci area. So they are calling this Pantai Central Park. They are now actually doing all the clearance, facade of the road. To be honest, I actually I'm very familiar with this area. I am here almost every day. Okay, so to me, I've seen the changes of it lah, from kosong to what it is today lah. So to me, it's a different master plan that's coming up. They are going to duplicate whatever similar in all the UA corporate area. They have the offices, they have the wellness suites, because in UA or the Bangsa South side, they have the life care center, they have the convention center, offices, residential tower, the commercial, the sphere. So IJM is going to do the similar things here. So they have their own master plan that's coming up. So they have the wellness suites, they have the access towards the reserve forest, because you know they have is a reserve forest over this Pantai Dalam area. So they're going to do similar thing. And also for the location itself, they say in future, if the MRT 3 happen to be there in the KTM station, there will be a link bridge for this. And also for currently, they have a shuttle service to Mid Valley, and also to the current LRT university stations, which is near to the KL Gateway Mall. So for this Enlace Suites, it's considered a low density. It's only 2 blocks, about close to 500 units. It's a leasehold. For sizes, they are catering for different sizes. Small bedroom for studio, up to big sizes, up to 4 plus 1 bedroom is 1,007. So for this 1,007 units, if you look at the layout, for me it's a dual key convertible. So because it's a butterfly kind of layout, so you can just convert it into another 1 bedroom or a studio, then you just continue use the other side. So about our completion is about 2029, number of storage 45. Facilities, I feel is actually I would say quite normal, and nothing to shout like very fancy. They have a lot of things like compared to all the KLCC. I would say this is just whatever being requested is being provided lah. So amenities wise, near to NP Federal in this area lah. So for LRT, the nearest is LRT University, but this is not a TOD to this LRT University lah. So if the MRT 3 is going to come out, sorry, just for correction, is MRT 3. So there will be a link bridge to be there, but as for now, there will be a shuttle service lah to this LRT University. So for the next slide is what I think that's the real USP lah. So when I talk to the IHM, all the staff and also the agent outside for this property, they are not really overselling it. They did not give me something that's not really true or anything. They mentioned all that should be there lah. So this is the integrated developments as what I researched on. So this is from the IHM group. So it's a quite a well-known developer. Probably a downside, probably people will say it's near to this sewage disposal area, but as for now, for those who stay in this area, like in Sequoia or Inuk, they don't really smell it lah. So I guess this would be not really a main concern for people who staying here, because I also here, so I don't really smell that. So I think should be quite all right. So on the next slide is the current price point that is going to in the market. So this for Enlace is just newly launched up, and they are their first current package is going to be 80% fully finished. So it's considered quite fully furnished lah in terms of their packaging. So it's about 940 per square foot and above, close to 1,000 per square foot as well. So for median in Bangsar South, so if you're comparing, the new is close to 1,000 today already. The old is about 840. So for rental, to be fair, so I have actually taken quite big range all the way to Southling, and also Sequoia Inuk Cubic Botanical is much more nearer in terms of distance if you guys really wanted to compare, because people will say, you compare like Bangsar South, this is QA product and this is IGM in this area. So to be fair, okay, so I just take out all that is going to be a comparable. So if let's say you wanted to talk about the 1 bedroom, Cubic Botanical, the studio current is about 1,400 to 1,600. But if let's say you want to compare to Southling, the current studio is about 2,000 to 2,300. It's not 23,000, so it's a typo. So for like a 1+1 for close to 500 square feet in Southling or rollout, today is about 2,400 to 2,600. So it really depends on which layout, which sizes you are eyeing for, and which comparable you are looking for. To me, because IGM is going to start out with their own master plan, there will be offices, retails, that's coming out their own component, which is going to be similar to what happened in the UA Bangsar South area. So to me, if let's say they want to do a comparison, like what agent said, maybe you can take it as an example. But if let's say you want to compare to the current, you can compare to Sequoia and Inuk, which I think, okay, in terms of their presentation is okay, quite all right. They didn't die to tell me that you have to compare to Southling, you know. They have the comparison for Sequoia and Inuk, which is their own very first and second phase of product. So if let's say you compare to this 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom sizes, so you go for like Sequoia, their 3-bedroom is about 4,500 to 5,000. Inuk for a 3-bed, 3-bath is about close to 5,500. So let's say if you take for this mortgage, for this Enlace suites, you go for the 4-bedroom, 1,500 square feet, is going to break even. So if let's say you wanted to compare just a studio, okay, or 1 bed, 1 bath, compared to, let's say, Cubic Botanical, in terms of their studio, is 1,400 to 1,600. So for this small bedroom, but compared to Cubic Botanical is from the other developer, it's not from IGM lah. So this is much more closest to a affordable homes. But so maybe people will say the premium of it is a bit lesser. But let's say you want to compare, it's still comparable, okay? So maybe you have to suffer a bit of the cash flow, but let's say you compare to Southling, it will be a positive one. So this is how I justify on my next slide. In terms of what I pick on, why the star is giving 2 to 4 stars. So if let's say you compare to this product, maybe you have to suffer a bit of negative cash flow. Maybe your mortgage is not able, your rental is not able to cover your mortgage. So if let's say you compared to the other one, maybe it's going to break even, give you some positive cash flow, because all the unit that we pick is actually from the middle floors, roughly around that. So in terms of cancel, I just give it a 3-star because it's currently as just the median, and maybe people will justify how is the Pantai Central Park is going to be, how the master plan. So I just put a 3-star because it's just at the median. Capital requirement, this is a 0 down, but probably you have to pay out of MOT, so you still need some upfront cost for it. So can stay is a personal preference, because to me, Bangsar South is for me it's a different community, so it's quite complete in terms of their amenities. It's really walkable, because even though like Sequoia Inwood is a bit further from this Bangsar Highway at Riverpark, but you can see people really walk. It's quite safe to walk around this area, even like about 10, 11. You can see a lot of people who work late night in these corporate offices, walking home at around 10, 11 times. So it's still walkable. So even for the upcoming iGEM, they actually they are working on the pathway, making more greenery, so more safe for people to walk. So I think it should be quite all right for the stay preference to me, myself. Okay, that's all for Enlace Suites. For the next one, we guys have is the next slide is Astrum Ampang. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Albee. For Astrum Ampang, this project is located near to the Jalan Jelatik and Jalan Ampang, just next to the LRT station, Jelatik LRT station, which is from the Astrum Ampang is 150-meter walking distance only lah. Launched September 2021, and the estimations completion is roughly around 2026 lah, with more than 5,000 units. It was a very high density project with a leasehold mixed development on the 6 acres land lah. Consists of the residential, commercial, SOHO, and service apartment. Like you can see the layout size also, the service apartment, the SOHO suite, and the SOHO transit. The facilities consist of a lot. There are 64 facilities, which is swimming pools, antioxidant rooms, etc. And the amenities also, the highway, and I want to highlight the public transport lah, because it's really near to the LRT Jelatik station, which is you can just walk to the LRT Jelatik stations. Okay, next. This is the agent marketing POV. The Astrum Ampang, the agent also features that this project is the first SOHO transit concept, transit-oriented residentials in Malaysia, whereby it's on the, like I said before this, near to the Jelatik LRT stations, 4 stops to KLCC and 1 stop to the future MRT3 interchange lah. And then the second one is the strategic location, which is easy access to the major highway like Akle, Duke, MRR2, Jalan Jelatik, and Jalan Ampang lah. And the leasehold property, whereby the buyers owns the property but not the land lah. Okay, next. Next is the price point. The net PSF for this project is starting from 729 PSF. We compared to the Jelatik old 4040 PSF, Jalan Ampang East New 774. We state the Jelatik and Jalan Ampang because in the address it was the Ampang address, but if we see in the maps, right, it's in front of the Jelatik, Jalan Jelatik. So we compare to Jelatik and Jalan Ampang East. The rental, we compare the Datum Jelatik, 1 Jelatik Serimaya, which is from the studio 2003, 1 bedder 2008, Serimaya 2 bedder 2003 to 2009. The mortgage for this project is around studio from 2001 to up to the 2 bedder from 2000. Okay, next, the star rating, 3 to 4 star, because the rental obviously can cover the mortgage compared to the 1 Jelatik, Datum Jelatik, and Serimaya. Potentially can get also the positive cash flow, maybe maximum cap 500. Can sell 1 star because it's more than 20% above median compared to the Jelatik. If you compare to the Ampang, it will be 3 star, which is at the median, 0 to 10% lah. And for capital requirement, 1 to 2 star, there's 0 down payment, but with no cashback. The can stay personal preference. Okay, next.
So I think, guys, just to give you guys some context, the reason why we have to highlight certain things, right? So I think there are 2 key concerns, right, when it comes to Astrum. For us, number 1 here is that it's called Astrum Ampang. It's being benchmarked against Ampang, right? But the actual entrance is actually come to via Jelatik. So your address could be Ampang, but if your entrance is basically coming from Jelatik, at least for us at Far Cap, we actually use entrance as a deciding factor, right? To decide which area the property sits in and how does it compare, right? So the LRT is attached to it is LRT Jelatik. Entrance of it is going to come from Jelatik. Therefore, it should be Jelatik lah. So the reason why the agents are using Ampang as a benchmark is because Ampang is selling higher compared to Jelatik. All right. So that's one thing lah. You guys have to be fully aware, right? Astrum Ampang actually is in Jelatik. Okay. So that's point number one lah. Point number two here is that I think because of the success of M Vertica, everyone now seems to think that any high density development all okay. Right? I think the way the property is designed is very different. While M Vertica has got close to about 4,000 units, but the blocks are not facing each other. Right? The facilities open view. Right? So you don't feel as clustered compared to developments whereby your unit is overlooking some other block, right? Which is the case. Now, it remains to be seen, right? That this will become a good performer similar to M Vertica, while the facilities are plenty, right? But we do think from a rental POV, most of the units are 3-star to 4-star, which is great. Now, can sell is because if you look at the supply of Jelatik side, there's no supply of new units being transacted in the sub-sale market, which is why it becomes a 1-star at this price point at least. Right? So and of course, history here is that I've heard people bought this at about 650 per square foot, the lowest, right? All the way to even close to 900 ringgit. So I think at 650, your cancel rating will be quite high based on the today's selling price, which is much higher than that. You know, unfortunately, is a 1-star lah. Okay, so that's why, right? So in a nutshell, just be mindful of these two lah. Astrum Ampang basically is entrance from Jelatik, right? LRT pun Jelatik, right? But they give it Ampang simply because Ampang attract better value than Jelatik lah. Similar to how they call Segambut North Kiara lah, just to increase the value of Segambut. That's why Kampung Kerinci also called Bangsa South mah, right? Instead of Kerinci South or something like that, right? Because Bangsa name is gold, right? So just be mindful lah for those who are looking to buy. As long as you are aware, that's fine. And to me, there's nothing wrong with Jelatik. Jelatik, in my opinion, made more money than Ampang. So I would have stick to not Ampang lah, but anyway, that was the decision by the developer. It is what it is, right? Okay, carry on, team.
So the next one we have Riverpark. They say it's Bangsa Sok. Okay. To me, my clarification, my point of view, I think the area is arguable. Okay. When you go to the show unit, they will say this is Bangsa Sok. Okay, they compare with all the Southwing, Southview, you know, they don't do other comparison. They just do it all the UA comparable. But to me, let's see why my point of view is arguable. So this Riverpark is about 1,003 units, 3 blocks. Solely for this Riverpark only. Upcoming, they will have their own affordable units, which is being required by the government that you have to build a part of it lah. So it's about 300 units. It's called Rio Bangsa South as well. So it's not included in this 1,003. It's a leasehold. So like what I just said just now, in compared to Enlace, they are both leasehold. But in terms of unit, is almost like 3 times of this Enlace. They don't have master plan. For their sizes, they're only offering 2 sizes. It's about 800 for 2-bedroom and 1,001 for 3-bedroom. So size is actually quite optimal. For me, this size very suitable for own stay already. Completions is about 2026. from what I see, their daily progress, because they was eyeing on Q3 of 2026, I think they might have early completion lah. It looks very fast, their progress so far. Facilities so lah, to me is quite normal, because it's like whatever is being requested is there. There's nothing too fancy to show up for this demo as well. In terms of accessibility, because people are saying that this Riverpark access route is bad. I didn't say that. Everyone said it in the forum, or you know, a lot of discussion. So they say there will be the double actually gather and know, okay, this is bad, but they have a different access road from the federal highway lah, and near to HDC and agency. But the HDC is small one, it's not the big one, so it's not really that super big one, so it's neglectable. But I'm not sure how is it that people can say is it neglectable that you don't even say this HDC is exit, but to me you can just mention that okay, some of the downside of it lah. So in terms of public transport, as for now is 300 meter to current KTM Angkasa. So people say okay, you can take the one station to KL Eco City and another 2 stations to KL Central, but to me KTM is not that frequent lah. It's not like RT or MRT, maybe around only like 15 minutes to 20 minutes you have one, but KTM is like 30 minutes, 1 hour you have one time. So to me, this is not really a plus point to it. Okay, on the next slide is probably the what agents marketing. They are marketing this by Mountain, is a branded developer. I admitted it, luxury modern design. This is going to be a partially furnished kitchen with a hall, kitchen cabinet, all that will be provided, but not that fully furnished lah. The only downside probably people are discussing is the access road and also the HDC near to the river, the smell, and also during raining time, the river concerns. Yeah, and also the location to me is arguable, Bangsa South, because to me, probably the borderline is the MP. Because if you say Riverpark is considered as Bangsa South, then how about those beside the road? Like for example, we have Vivo or Tria Sepute. They have the same access from this MP to go to Bangsa South. Can they classify themselves as Tria Sepute, Tria Bangsa South, or but they are actually the Sepute area to me personally lah. So for me, it's not really that comparable, but all the agent was telling me that Soutlink, Southview, how good is it? You buying this at below market value, you get a capital gain immediately. But to me, maybe some of it, they're not really know the area. Maybe they will think, oh, Bangsa South, everyone say can make a lot of positive cash flow. Is something that your rental is definitely cover your mortgage. But if those who are not really familiar with this area, the traffic in the morning is bad. It's really bad. Okay, even during the evening time is also bad. Okay, because of the peak time. So this is why people will stay inside those walkable area, because they can walk. Because to me, Riverpark is not really that walkable to this Bangsa South working station. So that's why I guess today people eye on AKA is either I want to go for the other master plan like Enlace or go for Riverpark. So to me, it's the real locations competitions ongoing lah. But people will still justify, hey, Riverpark seem to be much more nearer. You drive, but to me it's quite similar lah. But you can just say the location, but should not oversell it that to people that not really familiar to this area, because in terms of price, you can look at the next slide, which is the current net selling point is about 750 per square feet. I won't say this is like a very high price one or very low price one, because look at median in Sepute is close to 700 per square feet. So plus minus, if you consider from this branded developer, seems to be quite all right. But if let's say you just want to sell and people say you get capital appreciation, you compare to Bangsa South, I think we maybe have to get the context a bit clear lah about the location, which on my point of view, I don't really think it should be classified as as a Bangsar South area in terms of the location. So to be fair, my rental I covered all, okay, for whatever the agent have sold me in the Southwing, Sequoia, all the area, and I take in Tria and Vivo Seputih for the comparison. So to me, Tria and Vivo maybe in terms of the same location, big city, that you have to drive to pass through the under bridge to go to pass through the MP. I mean the underneath to go to Bangsar South. So maybe Tria and Vivo Seputih is much more better comparable for those who really need to drive. Unless Saling, Laurel, Novum, all these Sequoia, you know, they really can walk. So to me, if let's say you compare to Tria and Seputih, depending on the size that you're eyeing up, because that's why I say the price is not to say very high, but people will say if you let's say you compare to Bangsar South, then it's a different story. So if you look at the 2-bedroom, it's about close to 2,005. 3-bedroom is about 3,006. But just to note that don't see a Tria Seputih 3-bedroom can go to 5,005. This 5,005 is 1,006 square feet. Is a big layout, okay? So it's different. So if you want to compare about 1,001 square feet, you can refer to Vivo site kind of price per square feet. So maybe it should be much more comparable. So on the next slide is on the can rent and also can sell capital requirement. So can rent is about 2 to 3 star, can sell is 3 star. Capital requirement is 10% down. So you maybe require some of the capital for your MOT. Rentability depends on which one you compare. If you compare to really you buy on the Bangsar South story of the UA Corporate Park, then it's a break-even kind of thing. But let's say if you take on my consideration of the real location that everyone have to drive, people won't really consider to stay in this area because of the access road and the location itself. Maybe this is not going to, the cash flow won't be that great lah. Because to me, the size looks actually quite alright for own stay. For the size and the layout should be quite good. So can say it's the own personal preference. Okay, I think that's all for Riverpark. So the next one we have is Aspira.
Okay, for Aspira. Next. Okay, Aspira is the project located at Jalan Desa, Taman Desa. Just launched this year, beginning of this year, 2025, and completion is around Q4 2029. It consists 2 towers with 1,600 units on 3.7 acre land, which is one of the high density project from Masing also lah. The facilities is the Masing spec with the 50-meter lap pool, jacuzzi, gymnasium, and etc. The accessibility is also quite good, which is the Outgang Road, Federal Highway, Setiawasa Pantai Expressway, and KL Seremban Expressway also can be accessed lah. Next. Okay, this is the agent's marketing POV. It has a new link to KL Seremban Expressway with easy access to a major highway like Federal Highway, like I mentioned before, Salak, and also SP Highway. And based on the Masing, there will be a shuttle van service from the development to Kuchai Lama MRT stations, less than 5 km from Aspira. Okay, next. Okay, this is the price point. The net PSF for this development is roughly around 630 PSF, and we compared to the Desa Green 650 and the Taman Desa 437 PSF lah. The rental overall, the rental for 2 and 3 bedder, especially lah for Casa Desa and Albee Towers, can cover the mortgage and also can get a positive cash flow. Even the, as you can see, even the favor height, 1 bedder, 2 bedder, and 3 bedder also can get a positive cash flow, especially for 2 bedder, potentially up to like 70 to 100 cap. And then next, the star rating. As I mentioned before, the can rent is 3 to 4 star because of the rental, can cover the mortgage. Can sell 3 star, capital requirement 4-star, 0 down payment, but can get cashback up to 50K. And can stay is the personal preference. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all from me.
Without further ado, I think we can call our panelists tonight to share their point of view about deal or agree about which property they think they'll deal for tonight.
Okay, let's go with Azrin first. Pick your favorite one for tonight.
Me.
One
Azrin pun pada UM juga kan?
Again?
junior
You are from UM also, right?
Yeah, I'm from UM also.
Also,
Near of Albee and Zakri.
all from
Junior.
UM. Same faculty lah. Ni chronism guys. Ni.
William.
Oh, also William.
Yeah.
William is the super legend senior lah. Okay, I choose Astrum Ampang. And maybe because it's for me lah, because it's super easy to get around from there. As mentioned before, it's near to the Jelatik LRT stations. And I can literally walk to Jelatik LRT station, which goes straight to KLCC. And so yeah, it's really convenient for people like me who use public transport as their main way of getting around. Yeah, Astrum Ampang will be my first option, my first choice.
Albee? Don't tell us Bangsa Sau again.
I think she's about to choose Bangsa Sau. You give warning in advance. And she's rethink.
Kenapa tak boleh pilih? I choose Bangsa Sau. I choose okay. Reason behind okay, macam nanti kena pijak pula. Okay, I choose Enlace because I think it's not about IGM, it's not about the master plan, it's about living in the area. So to me, it's investment and also own stay, both actually quite suitable. So let's say I buy at the first place for investment purpose. Next time I can go for own stay purpose. And also it applies same to my next investor. So who wanted to buy and stay in this area, who bought on the master plan, work commercial, we have recreational, go to the park, walkable to all the things. But to me, well, there's one downside of this Enlace is the completion is a bit too long. It's about 2029, and for me the master plan have to up and it takes some time. But so to me, if can, I will buy Lara, but it's unfortunately it's not in the list today, but it's in our last session, the 9 p.m. sessions, which is near completion in the same area, price point quite suitable. It's just small layout, maybe suitable before I move on for own stay, and also in future also got investment value lah. So 5, then I'll choose Enlace. If not, then I'll buy Lara in the same area. I'll go for Lara. Okay, because I'm in this area for quite familiar. So I pass through every day. I can see like how Bangsa Sau is going on. So I think I can for both investment and own stay is a deal for me lah. Even though the price looks a bit pricey, but yeah, if both is quite similar to the Lara price, and I bet on Lara because it's nearly completion. It's a TOD near to KL Gateway. Yeah, it's a faster that I can rent out immediately from an investment point of view. Yeah, faster completion, and it's a mature master plan. Yeah, as per today lah. If I bet on master plan, because to me is on the other side is the Riverpark in terms of density, and it's a KTM, accessibility. People will say, hey, Enlace also the access also look bad, blah, blah, blah. So, but I think it's much more a better product lah, to me lah, for this Enlace. So I'll pick on Enlace. And I think it's going to be quite okay from the IGM point of view of the master plan lah.
What about you, Zach? By the way, Sean, and William cannot join us because they are both catching a flight, right? So which is why we are missing 2 panels. Go ahead, Zach.
I have can I choose 2? So okay, I have one is the one that I want to choose. That the one that I think it's actually quite okay. Yeah, it's okay. Let me just go the first one. First one is Paragon Gateway. For me, can buy lah. Because because today for me, this 5-7 kilometer away from CIQ. Okay, for me, JB game is a little bit unique. For those who are not familiar with JB, for me, you must go and see this into future prediction details, right? Sebab nak cakap to compare what is today is all about, you want to compare the price versus today, memang you akan terlepas the opportunity lah, for me lah. But again, if you want to enter JB market, try to explore as you can get the best deal ever. Sebab ramai je terlepas this capital gain opportunity, ramai je terlepas this rental increment opportunity, because you only see what is happening today, but you can't see the future, right? We do, hence client kita sangat-sangat beruntung lah. Some of them can even make already 50% capital gain even before buran peak happen. Rental increment almost everything that we bought, rental increment also happen, right? And even get higher and higher lah by today. So for me, it's not what you see today for JB. It's a little bit unique. It's what you potentially see in the future. And to predict something in the future is not as simple as what you can do in 1 day and 2 days, right? It's something that you really need to go through, go on ground, go and see what has happened for the past 4 to 5 years, what has happened for the past 10, 15 years, right? And gather all of these possibilities on the positive and negative side lah for me, right? But as someone yang ada perks of joining Fire Capital, I will always grab what Fire Capital can get lah, obviously. 50% cheaper than what Paragon Gateway is now selling. Because Fire Cap now try to explore every opportunity in JB. Hence, I think potentially I tak go for this one. But as a public, before this, I think maybe because something okay, as a Far Capital punya perks, we got something the same distance to CIQ or even closer, right? Much more better take for rental. So this is 780 PSF. We buy at least 50% cheaper than this lah, right? For me dalam banyak-banyak ni, Paragon Gateway is the one because the confidence of the property bull run still. This is not a bad property to see, right? As of now, Bumi fully taken, if I'm not mistaken lah.
Wow.
I will deal this property, especially for small unit. But if it's my third property onwards, macam kena consider to keluar cash lah. But one better is a good one, I think. I don't know. I think there's sold out already. I don't know, right? And another thing that to share lah, I think due to also rental demand on tier 2 JB specifically, for one bedder is really, really good, right? Up to 50% higher rental PSF in general lah. So yeah, I think I will go for this Paragon Gateway, especially for the small layout. And my top 2, please, another one. This one is Riverpark. For me, I also okay. This one for me, I also won't take this as Bangsa South lah, right? This is a putih, I would say. You're even located next to PPR. For me, they just don't say it's Bangsa South lah. Because the development, I think, is already good even next to PPR. Melton, historically, even the location sucks, but the rental normally they can fetch good one after they completed. One of the best example I would say, recent one is Duta Park, can fetch even 3,000 above to 4,000 rental, right? Even the location is just nowhere. It's just next to Jalan Kuching, not connecting to any other commercial and apa semua. This is the people concern though, before they even completed before. But the rental today is, I would say, is quite good. For me, 750 is not really expensive, but not really cheap, right? For me, deal because Bangsa South today, you cannot get something below 900 PSF, right? you cannot say this is Bangsa South, but you can say this is the best options in terms of price after Bangsa South area. Access quite okay, location quite okay. Even it's not Bangsa South, it's really easy access to Bangsa South to Mek Valley and many highways. So ideal for these two. Paragon Gateway and also Riverpark. Sorry, Albee.
Jangan risau.
Wow, I think tonight, first time in the history of DOG, all of us pick completely different properties.
Yeah.
I would based on what is available today, I would put my money on Aspira. For two reasons. I like Taman Desa address. I think Taman Desa is like it's something comparable to Bangsa or TTDI lah from a crowd POV. Landed property is very expensive dekat sana. And I like the fact that there's no new supply to compete. So I mean like the fact that there is no newly completed property when it comes to condo in Taman Desa in the last 10 years, and the closest thing there is Desa Green, which is at the border of Taman Desa, not even proper Taman Desa, right? The next thing here is the rumah wilayah lah, right? So that's the only supply. So I like the fact that it's so near to Bandar Malaysia, right? I like the fact that there's no supply, right? So if I were to put my money, I'll put my money based on selection tonight. It's gonna be Aspira lah. But you know, for those who are familiar with Far Capital, we are buying. So Taman Desa is tier 2, right? And today we are buying tier 1 properties at about similar price point per square foot lah. So for example, like Soya, you know, it's 650 ringgit per square foot. Nearby Mont Kiara, freehold some more. Right, so that would make in a way much better buy, and there's a lot more other properties that is in a way safer, right? But again, based on what is available tonight, I would probably go for Aspira, because I like Taman Desa as an area.
I think Aspira got this one concern. The access is single access from, you have to pass by all this affordable housing, right? I think they simply have 3 to 4 developments of affordable housing, roughly maybe about 10 block-ish. I believe walaupun affordable cannot do rental, there's a lot of people doing rental, at least 3 to 4 developments, at least those from that 3 to 4 affordable developments will potentially take the rental down for this area. What do you think? Today we can see 1,005, 1,003 rental for 3-bedder dekat those rumah WIP punya area. So does that potentially affect this Aspira, which is located after this affordable housing?
I mean, if they are offering similar facilities, the answer is yes. I don't think so. I suspect by the time Aspira is completed, it's going to be the newest, nicest facility in the whole of Taman Desa. Right, so it's not really comparing with the affordable. If anything, I see that as a plus. So why I'm leaning towards Aspira here is because, let's say for example, right? So I like to see what's the landed property value, right? So normally my benchmark here is that if I'm buying the apartment at half the cost of the landed property, I'm quite safe lah, right? So in all of the properties that we are reviewing tonight, with the exception of Bangsa South, because Bangsa South does not have a landed property per se, right? From a supply point of view, almost everything else you can actually buy a landed property, not at the 50% more premium. So I think this area is the only one lah. Because Taman Desa double story is above 1 million. So at 400,000+ for 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, I think it's just nice. Number one. Number two here is that, so you have medium cost property, right? And let's say, for example, you got 5,000 units. So what is going to be guaranteed here is that there will be better commercials, number one. So that means there's going to be a lot of cheap foods and whatnot. So it's going to be quite good. Number two, where are these people going to upgrade to? You buy a 300,000 rumah wilayah, right? Where do they upgrade to after that? The landed property is 1.5 million. Right? So in a way, I quite like the idea of the supply of all this in a way medium cost housing nearby lah. Right? And from a price per square foot point of view, yeah, I think slightly more expensive, but you're the only one. And somehow as of today, I think Masing from a rental point of view, post VP, they've done quite well in many of their newly VP developments. Right? And well, you ask me Seputeh 750 versus Taman Desa 650, Taman Desa all the way for me. Right? Okay, I think we are at the end of the session. Does anyone have any questions before we call it a night? I think there's going to be a record time of whereby we can end this before 12.
All right. So, okay, let's move on to the live Q&A session. Okay, so for the first question, with the recent news about employee layoff, will this have an impact on the property investment market?
I think only certain areas, right? So for example, if you're talking about Petronas layoff, right? So certain parts, I think Wangsa Maju might be affected. Right? So for example, Wangsa Maju is there's a lot of folks in Petronas. Right? So yeah.
All right, next question. What would your strategy be for building a property portfolio if you are starting with very little savings? My goal is to own at least 4 properties within the next 5 years.
Oh, simple. I'll just buy completed property. I'll buy a minimum 25% discount. I'll maximize the cashback on my 90% loan. So my first 2 property, I'll try to accumulate maybe 2 to 300,000 cashback. Because after that, on 70% LTV, if you want to buy, you probably need some capital, right? So my first 2 property, my focus is on cashback. I make sure my negative cash flow less than 1,000, but I keep 200,000 cash. Then after that, on 70% LTV, it's quite easy lah to if you have 200,000, it's actually relatively quite simple. We are designing 2 property developments, in Klang Valley that will be launched in the next 12 months. That will be below 250,000 and next to MRT. Right? So and these are non-HDA. So therefore it's 70% LTV friendly lah. So basically, if you are a 5 cap client, for you to get to 5 is easy peasy pejam mata lah, senang cerita. To get to 5. And here's the best part, you can literally do it tanpa modal. Right? So based on what I know, that's how I would play it. My first 2 property will be completed, maximize cashback. And then like I said lah, remember I said about 220,000, 230,000 property next to LRT, 8-9% rental yield, LTV 70 friendly. Those are going to be the things I'm going to buy 2 or 3 units. So done, 5 units. Macam tu je.
Sorry. I need to excuse myself because my family waiting for me to balik rumah from kampung.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Zach.
Bye.
Right.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Riverpark, isn't it a better location near KL Eco City, Mid Valley, Bangsa South, Bangsa, or even Old Klang Road, but Enlace can only bet on Bangsa South or the success on their own master plan?
I don't understand the question. Can you repeat it? Or can you post it?
Kejap let me share it.
I think he mean the accessibility because like what thing Zakri got mentioned about the location of this Riverpark. Like you can access to MP, you can go to Bangsa South, you can go for the inner road to go to Mid Valley, you can go to Old Klang Road because it's just, you can go to Bangsa also, Jalan Telawis, it's much more accessible is compared to this Enlace that people only talk about their own master plan, Bangsa South, The location, maybe Riverpark seems to be better and at a lower price point. Is it a better buy? I guess it means. Yeah.
I mean, you have to ask yourself lah, why they keep on insisting it's Bangsa South lah when it's not, right?
True.
If it's really the better location, why do you keep on insisting it's Bangsa South? It's not Bangsa South. If it's really the better location, right? So why keep on insisting selling it as Bangsa South?
Because to me the price not to say very pricey. Yeah, if you compare to Septi, seems to be quite reasonable. Maybe you can just let just say, oh, the location itself is at here, but then just emphasizing on this is Bangsa South. But yeah, to me, maybe some of the day when people find out it's not really Bangsa South, they will be quite disappointed. I don't think so. This is what the developer wants. Maybe it's what the agents was doing lah, that they compare to this and that. Even I did ask the agent and I feel like, hey, it seems like it's not really Bangsa South, but they say no, it is Bangsa South. You go through, you already reach. Then he say Enlace Suite also not Bangsa South. It's a Pantai Riverpark. It's not even Bangsa South also. They take Enlace as a comparable that this is not Bangsa South, but they are a Bangsa South kind of thing. So I find it quite weird, but to me, if let's say both of them wanted to argue, they are Bangsa South. But in terms of, because Bangsa South is just a commercial area being named over, the whole area is called Kerinci. So then everyone can call Bangsa South Plus Pro Max to go with this if they want. But
Can
just
call it Bangsa South or South Kuasa 2 or South times 2. So it's even
South times two.
outer than the original Bangsa South, right? So
Yeah.
So I fully disagree lah. I mean, like, let's call a spade a spade. Anything that pass after NPE is not Bangsa South. That's the border. That's how we define it lah. At least at Far Cap. The agent obviously will disagree. But if the location is really better, you sell it lah. Based on that lah. Why use Bangsa South?
Yeah, I think that's the main point. You can just say that you can have a lot of access to all the different area rather than just pressing on to Bangsa South. Are you guys just worried because the rental can't fetch as good as Bangsa South? That's why you want to sell this as the main selling point.
Right.
Yeah.
They know, right? The rental in Bangsa South is quite high, which is why they insist on Bangsa South rental lah. Right?
They
So
talk about investment value.
yeah, so that's the reason. So again, right, that's why you attend DOG, right? Deal agree, right? So that we discuss this openly. And again, if we are wrong, right? And but at this stage, we disagree with Bangsa South, and we tell you why. Because the NPE is the border, right? Anything past NPE shouldn't be considered Bangsa South lah. So you want to go and continue to claim Bangsa South, suka hati kau lah, no problem, right? So the other bit for us here is that maybe because I think 2 to 3 years ago, we actually bought Bangsa South at 640, 630, 650 per square foot. So for us, we are struggling lah after we buy a completed property at just 50 per square foot, right? In proper Bangsa South before the NPE, just for clarification, right? And we paid 650 per square foot. Right? So again, I mean, it's a bit of a struggle for us to go and justify lah. I mean, if it's selling for 600, 650 per square foot, I think it's gonna be, more attractive, but it is a product by Malton, and as Zach has basically pointed out, the recent rental rate has been quite high. Yeah. But I guess to each of his own, right? So if you can see, for example, the preference of all the panelists tonight is very different, right? Azri wanted something nearby TUD and somewhere cheap. Albee loves Bangsa South. So, I like Taman Desa because, lower comparable supply. So there are supply, but comparable supply low, right? And Zach tamak nak ambil dua, right? So and because he likes Johor, he is orang Johor, so it's understandable lah kenapa dia suka Johor. But again, right, so that's the whole point, right? So whatever that we say, we have to justify lah dekat sini. And for example, if the agent wants to insist on calling this Bangsa South, then they have to justify lah. For us, anything post NPE, not Bangsa South. NPE is the line where it gets cut, and this one after. Hmm.
Okay, next question. What do you think about Aspira in terms of their density of just 2 blocks and the upcoming supply in the Taman Desa?
Like I said, I like the address of Taman Desa. I like the fact there's no comparable supply. So I think there are the supply, medium cost housing like hipster and whatnot. But again, it's not a comparable supply. Right? So I like the fact that there's no comparable supply. I like Taman Desa. I like the fact that there's Bandar Malaysia coming there. I like the fact the landed property is so expensive. So I think from a capital gain point of view, I think it's going to be the biggest winner lah dekat sini.
Yeah, I think the price for this Aspira was not that high. Some like atas cancel was selling about 700 per square feet above. So in terms of price point, this should looks quite alright. And yeah, that's why make it a better buy. As in we can see, yeah, Taman Desa may pass through with a lot of landeds. As per past 10 years, there's no a lot of new upcoming that's completed. But yeah, there will be a lot of new upcoming supplies. But in terms of price point, it should be quite alright with their density. That's what I feel. And also, yeah, the Bandar Malaysia accessibility lah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that 2-bedroom is only 450,000 each. Yeah. 3-bedroom is only about 500 plus thousand. I you know, I like the fact that you're completely not competing with the landed property nearby lah. Hmm.
And also, I think Taman Desa, like compared to maybe other side like Taman Yao, Union C is much more further. Maybe for this side is much more accessible to the front part of Auckland Road to Mid Valley. I think it's a better location. That's why they are at a higher price point. Like all these cancel was selling 700. Like maybe some at the end of the Auckland was about 600 plus each per square feet. Yeah.
I think this reminds me of I think their property in Sentul, M Centura,
Yeah.
right?
It's actually
So
doing quite alright.
you know that jalan. There are so many developments. I mean, I'm a Sentul boy, so I thought the whole place is going to be oversupply, and at least from the outside, M Centura looks very unpromising lah. Turns out landscaping wise, facility wise, they got it right. Rental wise, one of the highest dekat sana, right? So I quite like the new massing. I don't really like the massing from 10 years ago. The new version of massing is I think they are building a product that make it easy for people to make money, right? So again, if you think about it, Auckland Road, 700 ringgit, 800 ringgit per square foot as of today, right? If you're talking about comparable product, OEG 750 ringgit, you can buy Taman Desa at 600 plus. I think it's Taman Desa. Which I think is better than Taman Yao, right? Or Seputeh, for that matter. So I think it's undervalued. I think the facilities could be better, could be a little bit more exciting. Like they are the new launches, right? But okay lah. I like the address. I like Taman Desa.
But to me, at least they also provide shuttle bus service lah to MRT Kuchai. At least some plus point. Maybe they know they are not TOD, they in Taman Desa. So for upcoming station, they will not be that near, but they still at least provide something to all the investor or even those who stay, because maybe to people like this area is like all those landed all those wanted to stay near to their family, they bought on to this for probably for their own stay. So it's still an additional value to the property itself lah, when you have a shuttle service.
All right, next question. FR, what is your upcoming property deals? I want to join as client, but I don't really want to wait.
I think our latest one is that we launched the cheapest property in Penang. And here's the best part, right? As a far cap client, you're buying the cheapest new property you can buy in Penang Island and below 500 ringgit per square foot. Right? So, so we are a record breaker lah, basically. So I think every area that we go, we tend to buy the cheapest, and as a result of being able to buy the cheapest unit, we got the most discount. We also get the most rebate, hence cashback. We also put the best renovation, which then easy for us to go and record, break record everywhere lah. Right? So why for example, maybe 6 months ago my preference will be different, right? But today I like the fact something is under supply. I don't have too many competition, right? So because we bought something in Bukit Jelutong, and as you know, Bukit Jelutong don't have new property in the last 5 years. And our clients, buying 500,000 property, able to rent out 4,000, 3,000 to 2,008, right? So these are very healthy number in a upmarket landed property area. So we continue to learn and we continue to be better at our deals. But as far as deals concerned, I think we have a couple of exciting ones. But you can be rest assured almost everything that we have is a 25% onwards discount, right? So even if you buy let's say for example, a property which is about to be completed 3 to 4 years from now, right? You're gonna get a 25,000 cashback this year to cover your interest, right? So that you can really buy something zero down. So that's really the full advantage of becoming a FACAP client. Your deals are cheaper, your cashback is earlier, you don't have to pay interest during construction, you get more things, you get more cashback. Then you do out your unit properly, you got better rentals. Like recently, for example, we bought Envertica last year, doing very well. And there's AGM last week, right? And all of the 7 committee members are FAR Capital clients. So which I also think is quite important. So it's not just about buying the best possible property at the best possible price, but what about after that, right? So I think these are things that you shouldn't take into consideration lightly, and I think we have done the part lah. So like I said lah, the most exciting one is gonna be the small units nearby LRT, below 250K, rooftop pool, right? 70% TV friendly. So those are deals coming this year. Very exciting.
All right, next question from Alvin. So I just signed up for the 499 with FAR Capital. I bought Talia Residence, ready about end 2029, just paid 1,000. Haven't signed SPA, but have signed loan agreement. Now don't know able to revoke or not. Want to catch the bull run to purchase more properties.
If you don't sign the SPA, there's nothing that they can do, right? You can call the bank to get them to not execute the loan agreement, saying that you're going to cancel the purchase, right? So your worst case, you lose 1,000, but at least you're not stuck for 5 years, just like our friend just now. Okay. So like I said, if I were you, I would buy a completed property, about to be completed property. I will maximize cashback so that by 2029, instead of stuck with 1 property, I got 5. I can buy 1 property a year. Right? So you can choose, you want to buy 1 property like everyone else, or you want to be like William, 37, 38 years old, already ada 6 biji property.
All right, next question from Jade. There is so many condos everywhere, plus so many new supplies. Is condo market, the price is going to increase and not decrease drastically in the next 10 years?
I think the short answer, Jade, is that if you overpay, it's going to decrease. If you underpay, you're going to make money.
So the area median is assisted.
Yeah, so it's like 3-4 years ago we entered Johor, everyone thought we are crazy. Oversupply, too many units, no tenant, blah blah blah. We entered and we bought at 10 years ago price point cheap lah, right? So we bought Larkin at 330 per square foot. Some unit was 300 ringgit per square foot. WCT now launching Larkin at 750 per square foot, almost fully sold. How do you think our clients gonna feel? And we have lower density some more, compared to all of these newer developments, right? So I think it's really about what are you buying and what price point are you buying? What is your unfair advantage? That's it. Right? So you know, if you are buying, for example, new property at cheaper compared to the old property, then it's a problem lah. Right? So for example, in Maluri, a lot of property owners who bought in the last 10 years all are royally screwed and royally fucked simply because they bought at 800, 900, 1,000 ringgit per square foot. And today we are buying at below 800 ringgit per square foot. So we buy better, newer property and we buy cheaper. Mampus lah dia. Why? Because they don't understand buying below replacement cost. Right? So for us, it's a mathematical game. So the other thing here is that you have to understand, at the same price point, tenant will always prefer new condo versus old, which is why we like new.
And I think something to add on is about the property cycle. If those who joined and they know we got briefing about all this property cycle. So to me, you know, people talk about the capital appreciation and, you know, make money, all this kind of thing, the prices up and down, transaction records, I guess it's all depending on the cycle. So to know which is and what is the right time to in and out is important in this investment journey. Yeah, it's quite technical, it sounds like, but it really depends on how the markets do lah. So maybe let's say you exit at the peak, then you make money. But if let's say you exit at the lowest, then you will be the one that suffer lah, because you're not sure, how long should I hold? Should I still hold on the property? I guess it's quite technical because not much people know, at this price point, at current rent, my mortgage, should I still hold on? Should I let go? Yeah, it's something that maybe you have to learn on good about this. Yeah.
Okay. Happy too, Alvin. Like I said, bankers, agents, a lot of them really hate us. Because people already book something, then we get them to go and cancel. But the reality here is that, look, if it's the better property, you continue to buy lah, bro. Itu saja. We cannot bullshit, what? We cannot bullshit you into buying a worse property compared to what you buy, mah. You only want to cancel if you look at it, hey, shit, man, this sounds like a much better property. Itu saja. And the reality here is that, which I can, in a way, guarantee no one is buying cheaper than us, right? No one is buying cheaper, no one gets more cash back than us. So you have a lot of additional advantage. And again, you know, the idea of you being stuck until 2029 with one property is just, bro, you're gonna cry lah. So trust me, you'll be happy to lose that 1,000. You can easily make it back. Easy. All right. But buy completed property or about to be completed property, you cash back, you know, maximize so that you got the opportunity to go and own 5 property before 2029. Okay.
All right, so that's all the questions. So any last word before we finish?
Okay, guys, if you like to buy better properties than the one that we have reviewed tonight, like I said, while people are fighting about should they pay 750 ringgit per square foot in, you know, location that is pretending to be Bangsa South, not even proper Bangsa, but Bangsa South, we are buying 650 ringgit per square foot in proper Dutamas. Right? We are paying 450 ringgit per square foot in proper Mount Austin, lower density, confirm positive cash flow property. Right? So, and this property is all about to be completed. So, if you are looking to buy the better property, like I said, join us. The investment is only 499, money back guarantee. If you fail to buy, you know, something decent the next 1 year, you get a full refund. So there's zero risk to you. Right? Zero risk to you. So with that, the link has been provided by my team. Right? I want to wish you a wonderful week ahead. And, you know, I'll see you guys in the next DOG or webinar. Assalamualaikum. Good evening, everyone. Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.